Well, so we had a big episode planned, but apparently somebody tried to assassinate the president. Again.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into that. This is going to be a really interesting episode. I have no idea how this is going to play out. I don't know how long we're going to stay on this, but this is... apparently Trump's fine. Everybody's fine as far as I know. But... sorry, go on, Trevor.
Right before we started, I saw an update. I think it's the link that I sent you. The shooter is down.
So they got the shooter. Okay.
They got the shooter.
All right, well, we're just going to jump into a live stream here and see what the information is. Again, this is going to be... It's going to be an interesting night tonight. I'm not sure how this is going to go. So here we... Let me pull this up. Here we go.
You know that there is a...
Suggesting he's alive. And I
don't even imagine to think, and I'll tell you what, those gunshots sounded loud on that video. And if you ever heard gunshots on top of you, they're loud, they travel far, and they don't discriminate who they hit. This is really scary. One of my questions in my mind, what was technology used outside this event? Did they have technology? If you had a long gun, I'm just speculating here. What technology did they have out there? How is this layered? A lot of questions I can answer tonight, but that's going to have to be a series post-action review of what the hell went on.
I'm actually going to pause on this, and we're going to jump right onto Twitter and see if we can figure out what's going on. So, breaking update, President Trump has been safely evacuated from the White House Correspondents' Dinner per source. You can hear shots ring out in this video. A shooter opened fire in the lobby. The shooter is dead. This is absolutely insane. Leftist violence must end. So you got a bunch of guns. Yeah, basically men on guns cleared, move the president away from the stage. I barely heard the shots. Did you guys hear the shots?
No, I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
Yeah, it almost seemed AI a little bit.
Well, let's watch it again here. Let's see.
I don't know if I go that.
So you got a girl acting very shocked for some reason. I don't know who the girl is. Trump's listening. Oh, it's a dude doing a magic trick. So they all turn their heads. You can't really make heads or tails of anything with that footage.
No.
Okay, so that's apparently the incident we're talking about. Let's go back to the live stream here. Would you knock it off? All right.
Quickly and bravely. You know, only this president would say, I want
We're just waiting for someone to come up and speak
this was supposed to be, this was the first White House Correspondents' Dinner as president that he was attending to. He was going to obviously be there, get some jabs and the rest. This was supposed to be something that was historic in America. He said 250th. So here we have the president. We're putting it up on the screen so you can read it yourself. He has recommended that we let the show go on. Of course, he's the president who was pulled out off the stage and Butler saying fight, fight, fight. That is who he is to his.
So this is saying that the shooter has been apprehended and hasn't been killed. So we're getting conflicting reports on that right now. So Twitter was saying the guy was dead, and Trump's here saying the shooter has been apprehended.
Or he is going to let them decide.
Well, can I add one other thing? Yeah, which is the most important thing that I missed when I started reading that. The president's okay. He's truthing right now. Which, by the way, I didn't hear the CBS correspondent before say the president's safe, the vice president, the first lady.
To be honest, that's what I'd expect him to do. He'd get right on the internet after surviving one of these things. That's kind of what he does. So, you know. Got to give him credit for that.
Where did this take place at?
White House Correspondents' Dinner. So this would have been at the
White House.
Yeah, from what I understand. I don't know where else they would hold the White House Correspondents' Dinner at.
I mean, that makes sense, but how? That's like the most secure place in the country, isn't it?
Maybe people were slacking.
Allegedly.
I mean, they did get a whole bag of cocaine in there, so, last year. So
well, then maybe Hunter did it.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe Hunter was the shooter.
Yeah. That's my only... I can't think of any other possible explanation.
None whatsoever, huh?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, either it's fake or Hunter Biden did it.
It's a dichotomy. It's a dichotomy. Yeah. Good night. Well, how many does this make? 3, 4?
Yeah. I mean, legendary. No one's ever had any more assassination attempts than me.
He is going to say that on Truth eventually. You know that. It's like he's just tallying. Like there's been maybe one other president, and if he gets one more, he's gonna break the record.
I would almost bet he's gonna want his name in the Guinness Book for most assassination attempts as a U.S. president.
He might get it.
I'm guaranteed. Yeah.
And most impeachments.
Yeah,
that's true. Good night. I mean, it's just a little disproportionate, fellas. I don't know, man. These people are freaking out. So
yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. But all right, let's see if we can figure out anything else.
I'm not
get it.
sure.
I'm not blaming
I'm not sure.
And
she had guardrails
Caroline
up,
Levitt
too.
hadn't told us
Freaking
anything.
crazy
and maybe
people,
the Secret
man.
Service said, do not say where the president is right now, John. But, I mean, look, first of all, the president...
By the way, don't give us any crap about reacting to a guy who's reacting to the news, because this is short notice. Give us a break.
So. Yeah, it's just a live stream.
The United States is alive and well, John. Yeah. And that is the most important thing we're learning right now, correct?
Obviously he's alive and well. It doesn't appear that the people in the room, you can see it right now, looks like there's really no sense of urgency. Obviously, they're talking about weapons, so it looks like the situation has been mitigated. But again, thank goodness for that Secret Service at that magnetometer. Thank God he didn't get in his room, because that would be a mass casualty situation, no doubt about it. And our president, our leader, is safe.
I'm just wondering, at what point is this is becoming too normal in our country? Erica Kirk was also in the room there tonight.
That's true. There have been a lot of assassination attempts. It's kind of nuts. Let me mute this for a minute while this is going on. I don't want to keep falling behind here, but I do want to ask a question. So why do you think there's so many leftist assassination attempts, boys and girls? What are your thoughts? We've had so many school shootings. I think it's more than it's been in the past. What do you all think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Got more people on the internet now. They can be subverted by the CIA and turned into, what do you call them, patsies.
Yeah. What do you think the chances are?
They probably have a surplus of patsies nowadays, so you're seeing an uptick in psyops.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think the chances are that these guys are like, we're going to find out the shooter was part of some Reddit thread? Some hidden...
guaranteed.
Some hidden tranny Bambi chat room, something like that.
100%, man.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they're finding these people that are already disturbed and in a niche, and then they're going, hey, you want a gun?
They're just morally corrupt and vulnerable, and they take advantage of their vulnerability and influence them to be psychopaths.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. What do you think, Mr. Trevor?
How the Joker worked.
That's how the Joker worked, yeah.
Yeah, he would find the most psychopathic people and get them to follow him.
So we're saying...
Christopher Nolan knows a lot of that stuff. He's a smart guy.
So we're saying Heath Ledger's running the CIA. No? Okay. Just thought... maybe I misunderstood. My bad. All right, let's see what they got going on here. We got new footage.
Absolutely. At this point, again, as you're talking, I'm thinking, this can't go on. I know they want to stand tall, and I get it, and I respect that. But let's shut this down tonight. Let's do it another night, and let's make sure everyone's safe and get them home.
Well, do you have audio?
John?
Huh? Was that you, or was that the TV? We shouldn't be using a reaction video. I'm getting confused as to who's talking. Okay, I do disagree with that, though. I disagree with that. I think he needs to get out there and talk. I don't think he needs to be, like, shutting it down, because you're just emboldening these people if you shut it down. And I think that's what Trump's thinking. He's wanting to get out there and say he's not scared. That's what he did in Butler. I think he should make a speech, because otherwise these guys are going to think they bloodied your nose. What do you guys think?
I think you're right in what you're saying.
Trevor?
But
sorry.
I still think it's fake.
You still think it's fake, huh? Okay, but to what end? Like, he already won, and he's like 78. Like, why would he fake his assassination now? There's no point. He clearly doesn't care about popularity. He's been losing popularity because of Iran and Epstein.
It's a live thing. It's like, okay, so back in the day, like, the moon landing was super impactful to everybody that saw it live, right?
I guess.
So they're like, oh, I saw them land on the moon. You can't tell me, right? So
yeah,
Trump's going around doing all these speeches, and like, it's so easy for them to do these assassination attempt things, and I think it probably garners a lot of people like that see him, barely escape death live in person, and they're like, no, I'm gonna vote for this guy forever.
So right? You think maybe they're doing it to, like, garner support on the midterms?
Yeah, I mean, that's always what it's for. That's always what it is.
I disagree with you, dude. I think that these are legitimate. I think the left has just lost its mind. I think that they've just sore losers. I think they thought they had it with Obama. I think they believed that they had finally won the culture war and they were going to get all their dreams and stuff. And then this brash guy going, "You guys are idiots," comes in, and I just don't think they could take it. It's like they had their victory snatched away from them, and they've never been able to get over it.
They're all just seething.
Yeah, I think the left is seething. They're sore losers, dude. They are sore losers. They're not used to it.
Maybe I just can't. I can't understand it because I'm not in the dichotomy anymore. I'm just like, this is so dumb. It's fake. I don't even care.
I give up.
That's what my problem
Everything is stupid. I don't believe in anything.
It's all fake news.
It's all fake news. Fake news. Maybe so. I can see why you would think that. But no, I think it's just the left. I think they thought they were going to win. I think they thought they had it. And then Trump, not only a Republican, like, think about it from the left's perspective. These vile communists see everything as like evil corporations with cigar chomping, brash individuals, And they thought Obama was their savior. And then their savior gets kicked out by a cigar chomping, cussing, brash, orange man. And I think they just lost their mind. They broke. It was like, but we'd won. We'd won.
Is it the shooter? Why did they have a shirt on?
Oh, we got new footage? Hang on a minute. Okay, yeah. They never have a shirt on.
And he's bald. Like, distinctly.
Entirety.
Towards the door to get back.
Well, Cheetos don't provide enough nutrition, so he probably lost his hair.
All of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me. And the next thing I knew, a police officer threw me to the ground and was on top of me. And I was listening and watching what was going on. And apparently they got the gunman who had a major weapon there. But it was so worrisome. The noise was so loud in a small area. And all of a sudden I'm seeing gunshots. And then they grabbed me, the police officers. And
so they threw the wrong guy down and took his shirt off.
Hey, it's like a game of whack-a-mole. Just grab the guy that looks suspicious. I don't know. It's like, tackle everyone, I don't know. Hello, Greg. How are you today?
What's up, Greg?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, we're great. Our entire show was derailed because someone tried to kill the president again. So
what? I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
When did that happen?
Like just now, like 10 minutes before the show.
Oh, yeah, that derails things.
Yeah, so we're kind of like, everything is just crazy right now. So we're not sure what's going to happen. It looks like they're about to release a statement here. So let's turn this on really quick. So yeah, we're all kind of improvising at the moment.
Sir hates Trump, works for CNN, and he was next to the shooter. Listen, Jay, like I can't even get into a fucking movie theater without a fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Hey, watch your
How
language,
do
sir.
these people keep getting close?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm offended.
Me too.
On the
Of
internet.
the United States of America with weapons. How? Like,
Bro, I can't even walk into Disney World. My freaking
I'm
alarm
with him,
sets
though.
the metal.
You're right.
Like,
That's what
dude-
you were saying earlier. How'd they get in?
Yeah. Like you can't just walk in the White House with a gun. Are you kidding me? Like,
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he was just
I
like
have
in
to
the
go
White
a
House
lot.
dinner, and then somebody like ran into the lobby with a gun.
it's just silly, dude. I'm calling it fake. I gotta get some coffee. I'll be back.
I don't think it's fake. I'm going to say false flag. I'm going to go Alex Jones. False flag. False flag. They found a Cheeto guy on the internet, and they gave him a gun.
I mean, somebody let him in.
Yeah.
He didn't ninja his way into the White House. you don't sneak in.
Yeah.
You gotta say it right. It was a long gun.
It was a long gun?
What?
Yeah, that guy earlier was talking about long guns.
Ah, yeah. So he just snuck in with a giant rifle. It's fine. Nothing to
Really
see here.
sneaky.
He just got in. You
Just
know,
maxed out his sneak skill. You know.
this is what happens when you don't clear out those intelligence people. I'm telling you, you got a bunch of bad actors. It ain't gonna stop. 'Cause what? It's 4 or 5.
CIA.
Yeah, it's CIA. It's somebody in the government. All right, let's see. Calix, hello. Yo, let's go. What I miss? Haha. Yeah, dude. Apparently, we had like a whole show planned, and then someone tried to kill the president again. So everything's like derailed. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So, okay, we got somebody releasing a statement here. Let's see what she's got to say.
And he wanted to emphasize that nobody was hurt. He and the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe.
Got bad lag. Apologies for the lag.
Sorry.
The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes.
Okay.
That is not a joke.
That's our president,
and
baby.
He insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days. And that he wanted to do it tonight. He wanted to continue despite the news, but has to follow security
You
protocol.
want to keep having dinner?
Yeah, it's like he's got to have like a hamburger on the podium. He's like, I missed dinner, so
Yeah, screw it. Just get back on stage.
Yeah.
From it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do. So, thank God everybody's safe. And thank you for coming together tonight. We will do this again. Thank you.
Got stunt written all over it to me, dude.
Okay. Why?
Somebody let him in.
Yeah, somebody let him in. I'm going to say false flag. You're saying that the Trump administration did a stunt. Why are you saying that?
What's the difference between a false flag and a stunt?
Well, the false flag would be like the government let somebody in. They stood down and let somebody try to take a shot at the president, but the president didn't know anything about it.
Oh.
The difference whether Trump did it or the CIA did it.
Yeah, like somebody in the government tried to kill him versus, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to get that specific, but it's an op.
Nobody just snuck into the White House with a gun. That didn't happen.
No.
You are right. You are right.
I don't know if Trump did it or somebody else did it. But I think it's for attention gathering. Whether that attention is positive or negative doesn't matter.
I think they're legitimately trying to kill him. This is just my opinion. If we're going to speculate, I suppose, I would say that they are freaking out over the SPLC thing or something like that. I don't think it's a coincidence that this happened back to back like that, because the last time they started going after those NGOs, that was Elon Musk, and they made sure to shut that down. And so it seemed, just me, I'm speculating. I don't know. I know nothing. I'm an idiot. But it just seems to me that every time we start hovering over this NGO government funding issue, something dramatic happens. It's just me. It's my speculations. What do you guys think? Am I an idiot, or what do y'all think? Your opinions, your thoughts.
I don't know what you're referring to. What's an SPLC?
Southern Poverty Law Center.
The whole thing where they were funding the KKK.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
And this is what USAID was doing, the exact same thing, too.
Tonight is actually the first time I'm hearing about what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, basically what happened is earlier in the week, the FBI did a press conference talking about the Southern Poverty Law Center was basically funding the KKK, funding a bunch of quote-unquote right-wing extremist groups. And
Southern Poverty Law Center is a far leftist organization, just assuming you know that.
Yeah, so they're like a far leftist organization. They were telling everybody, hey, give us money and we're going to stop racism. And then they were funding racists. And then they were the ones that funded Charlottesville. And they might be funding some of the podcasters on the right. And my whole point with that story is, I think it's a little weird that this happens right after the press conference with the SPLC. The last time we saw some dramatic drama or whatever, it was, it's been with Epstein, and then it's been with Doge. Doge taking out USAID. USAID is gone. And it just seems like every time these NGO programs, these government welfare type programs get attacked, we see something like this. I'm speculating. I'm an idiot.
Maybe you're onto something.
That's what I think. We'll see. What do you guys think?
If this is a legitimate thing that's happening, these assassination attempts, I like your thing.
Well, thank you, sir.
I don't know that it's necessarily tied to the Southern Poverty Law Center thing, but I mean, people in the government obviously want him dead. And obviously somebody in the government had to let him in.
Yeah, you don't just walk into the White House. Mm-hmm. No, sir. Trevor, what do you think?
It was probably Epstein.
You think it was Epstein? Epstein was in there in the lobby? It was him?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It just gets weirder.
He knocked out a guard, took his gun, and took a shot.
There you go.
Now they're going to put him in the same jail cell.
We have to start saying Epstein didn't kill himself again.
Yeah, Epstein didn't kill himself. That's right.
Because he's still alive.
The sequel.
Epstein, the sequel. Oh.
Here we go again.
Again. Yeah. So
Epstein didn't kill himself, too.
All right, let's see what we got here. Go. All right, so I'm just waiting on the hall. So let's see what old Twitter has to say. All right, what's trending? I miss when they actually had the trending bar where you didn't have to search for it. Assassination attempt. What are we getting out of that? Search function sucks on this thing. Okay, so this is what Trevor had. All right. What? Okay, so we got somebody being ironic, and I guess they're assuming a stunt. I don't know.
Everyone should tune
Ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own work.
Ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble.
I ain't there yet, Cody. I ain't there yet. Oh no, that's horrible. That's gonna
not looking good for you, Gary.
That wasn't good.
Not looking good for you.
That hurt. That hurt. You know, Twitter's gonna be all aflutter over that. Oh my
Although
goodness.
the volume on that sounded AI, so it could have been fake.
I appreciate you saying that. That you're sparing my ego a little bit. So
it's all AI.
It's all AI.
Whole
None
thing.
of it's real. None of it's real. All right, what we got? We got the same basic footage over and over again. And look at that. Shots fired is trending on X. Oh no. Yeah, it's just her over and over again. No, it's her in the dinner. Yeah, okay, I don't know. This is all a bunch. Okay, so maybe it wasn't in the White House. It looks like the Washington Hilton, where the White House... Okay, so this didn't take place in the White House. This took place at the Washington Hilton. So you got police running through the Washington Hilton, where the White House Correspondents' Dinner is being held after reports of shots fired. Breaking suspect in custody after shots fired at White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Hashtag shots fired.
Hashtag shots fired. Got it. Okay. You got another person saying the shooter was killed. So that's 2 accounts of the shooter being killed. And then the president saying the shooter was apprehended.
Be right back, guys.
Yep.
All right.
So let's see.
We got an apprehended, 2 killed, and 2 not.
Oh, it's we got 3 reports. 2 killed, 1 apprehended. Benny Johnson is on it. So they were both Trump and Melania were there. Then the shots fired thing again. Yeah, so it's just like the same footage over and over again. I'm not okay. That's gross.
Oh my God, Gary, what are you looking at?
I don't know. That was gross though. Ugh.
All right.
I think our stream might have got banned over that. Who knows? All right.
Yeah, so it's the same clips over and over again. You remember earlier how we talked about how something's like everywhere all at the same time, it's pushed or propagated.
Yeah.
Or fake.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get that image out of my head. That hurt a little.
Yeah. Well, the best thing to do is just not think about it or talk about it
ever again.
I didn't see it, so we're all good.
It was nudity. It was gross.
Oh.
Insaneness by giving them a day and everything else. Like, this is what happens. This is what happens when there's no law and order. Sorry, people can be offended at my words. It's just true.
You are correct.
It's just true.
You are correct.
It's like, and now we have chaos, and that's exactly what they want. They want freaking chaos.
The Secret Service has released a statement following the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The president and the first lady are safe along, safe along all protectees. 1 individual is in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known. The law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. So that is their statement right there. So the person that is responsible, the shooter is responsible. The shooter is in custody. The person responsible is in custody as it stands right now. So this is apparently, let me double check this really quick. So people are saying this is the shooter. So hang on.
Who's Nick Sortor?
Did it go away? Did they delete that one? They may have deleted it.
This is the guy that Trevor just showed us, though. That was the X link was that link.
Reportedly, this is the shooter. So I already showed this picture once. Reportedly, this is the shooter. First images allegedly shows the shooter in custody following the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You've got this picture right here.
Oh, that's him.
And then you have a closer picture right there.
Yeah, so they shot him and then took his shirt.
I think that's a man bun. Look,
I don't think
pink
this
scrunchie. No? Is this my eyes playing tricks on me?
I can't tell. Too blurry.
Why is his shirt off?
I don't know. Humiliation ritual, I guess.
Well, usually they cut
Did they take his shirt off, or did he run in shirtless?
If he got shot, they would take the shirt off to see if they can stop the bleeding.
What?
What?
I don't know.
No. If somebody tries to shoot the president, you just shoot him in the head and kick him into the ditch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a patsy. We'll never see that guy again. So,
bro,
save him for interrogation.
Why was his shirt off, bro? They brought in a cadaver. That's ridiculous.
You think that's
this
what
is
it is?
so
They
fake?
brought in a cadaver. You think that's what it was?
This is blatant ridiculousness.
So okay, somebody shot a gun, and then they brought in.
I didn't hear a gunshot. Did you?
Very faint, very very faint. So they bring in a shot, or they have somebody shoot a gun somewhere, and then they bring in a corpse wrapped
They're like,
up
oh,
in.
look at this dead guy. He doesn't have a shirt on. Isn't that crazy? That's because people get naked when they die.
Well, you think if they were going to do a cover-up, they would at least give the guy clothes.
You would think so. But these people are ridiculous.
I'm not really sure how you envision this going down, Cody. It's in a dinner full of reporters. Like, there's a lot of witnesses. Seems like
Then tell me how his shirt got off.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's, only House of Cards. It's Kevin Spacey carrying a cadaver down a lobby. So.
I guess I haven't
full of reporters.
Did he run in without a shirt, or was he shirtless when he ran in?
In a room full of reporters, you'd think we would know.
I imagine that I would say they tackled him, or there was a physical confrontation and his shirt got removed when they tried to pull it over his head or something. Because they'll do that in when they're wrestling a guy. They'll grab the shirt and try to pull it over his head and hit him or whatever. You never seen that?
Yeah, but if you subdue somebody on the floor like that, you don't shoot them after you subdue them.
I mean, they're not supposed to, but I kind of think people get wound up. So
I don't think so, buddy.
I don't know. I've seen some cop footage. People get a little antsy. That all that adrenaline and stuff. You act a little more like Barney Five than you'd want to admit.
No, Greta Van Susteren.
Susteren.
I'm just saying.
Susteren. That was cute. It was cute. It's all suspicious. No, I mean, I don't care if it was in the White House or if it was at the Hilton. It doesn't matter. There's no way they should have been able to get in there. Like the security, remember when Greg,
especially shirtless, you'd be like, wow, there's a shirtless guy with a gun. Isn't that weird?
Odd, weird, strange. Well, if he was in a man bun, like I thought, that would have been a tell. It's like a redneck Jason Momoa coming down there. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, come on. Anyway, no, Greg, do you remember when Bush Jr. went and spoke at College of the Ozarks?
Yeah.
Remember when the Social Security, Secret Service, they were there like a week before, strutting around trying to act inconspicuous, when everybody was like, dude, that's a Fed. Like all the kids are like, the Feds are here. They scope the place out a week before the president ever shows up. So, I have a hard time believing somebody's just able to walk into the Hilton with a gun like that.
Yeah.
Probably
the cook.
Sorry, go on, Trevor.
It's probably the cook.
It was like the cook. Yeah. Well,
pulled the egg out of his spatula sleeve. With his no shirt. He was just wearing a chef robe and that's it.
He's one of those guys that fries bacon without a shirt. That's right. So
some cook in the kitchen that just took his shirt off and said Leroy Jenkins and just ran in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, they were there a week before though. There's no way. I don't see how you can just waltz in.
1 second, guys.
Yeah. But that was the other strange thing about Butler is they'd clearly set up a kill box too. I'm telling you, it's the Secret Service. There's somebody in there setting it up. This is.
Oh, just one bad apple, Gary?
Oh, come on. I think it's at least half of them, if not all of them. That's what I think. No, I don't think they're doing it to give, Trump street cred. I think they're doing it they're legitimately trying to kill him. But you would think after 4 attempts, and I think this would make 4, somebody to be getting fired. They never dealt with it the first time. Again, this is why Pam Bondi, which she's gone now, but Pam Bondi and Kash Patel should have been kicked out. Because the FBI was the ones that were supposed to be investigating these assassination attempts. They never did. They buried it. And if the Secret Service is the ones behind it, which we've thought from the beginning, then this would be yet another example as to why those people need to leave. Although I'm slightly more optimistic than I was when Pam Bondi is in there, I'm still convinced you're not going to get very far with Kash Patel. And if they continue refusing to look at the Secret Service, this is not going to get better.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It all seems pretty simple to me. Definitely need to get Cash App PayPal out of there.
The sooner he's gone, the better, for sure. All right, let's see if we got any new information here.
Went through
I gotta get
an approval process, paid the money, and they're sitting here going, why did we do it the right way when Joe Biden's just opening the floodgates?
And they gave us a
ridiculous
daycare to run.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh, man, scary stuff. Okay, let's hear what Greta Van Susteren is saying right now.
It's pandemonium.
There's some video now coming in of the takedown of the shooter. If you stand by, if you have to go, Greta, tell us. But we
got video
on the screen.
Oh, here it is. Yeah,
and this might look like the aftermath of the takedown. Yeah, because the shooter appears to be on the ground, Bianca, obviously. So it's our first.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
Ed,
go ahead.
Ed, you just cannot underestimate how bad the traffic was to get into the place and how terrible the security was once you open the door. You know, I mean, the traffic wasn't security. The traffic was just sort of a mess with a bunch of police cars stopping. Anybody could have walked in there.
Greta,
Anybody could have.
So the one thing that we're seeing now is that there appeared to be like a sheet or a towel over this.
Shout out.
And
thank you, brother. I will read that here in just a minute.
I don't know if he was a protester, had the shirt off, if law enforcement ripped his shirt off to see if he had a bomb on him, or what may have transpired. All that's going to come out, obviously. And we're going to hear from the President of the United States live, pardon me, any moment now from the White House briefing room. And oh, by the way, Greta, there's one other piece of information, which is when you read that White House pool note that says we are flying back to the White House, fastest motorcade I've ever been in, they say the motorcade was rolling at 9:46, which is only 14 minutes ago. Why is that important? Bianca, that tells us the president was still at the hotel. He did not.
Oh, yeah, they probably held him there.
They had him in a holding room.
Lots of happy birthdays to Ryan there. Ryan, thank you again. Really appreciate it, brother. Happy birthday.
Raining. We're all walking in the rain into this building when that's not raining now, but you could hear protesters. I said it sounded like protesters on the other side of the hotel. So, but that's Washington. I mean, we like the First Amendment. We're proud of the First Amendment. People protest even when you don't like it. You know, we're proud of it. We don't like shootings. We don't like terrorism. We don't like anything like that. So it's people that's sort of ordinary.
I'm going to be honest.
That
now, maybe it's me.
That was abnormal that I thought.
I don't like that there. It seems a bit nonchalant with people right now with that guy just laying there. I don't know. I'd like to see.
It's a cadaver. They're like, I'm not touching that.
I thought I saw the guy's head turn. I don't think it's a cadaver, Cody. I'm convinced there's a head bun, though. There's a man bun there.
Is he dead?
No, I think I saw his head turn. But he is right that people are acting a little chill, but maybe they're just, kind of crashing after all the adrenaline. You know what I mean?
How many reports are there, like, dead versus alive?
There's 2. What we've seen so far, there's 2 dead, 1 alive. We've had 2 different people say he's dead. Then Trump's tweet said he was alive.
I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep looking. Let's see if he's. Yeah, he's turning his head, man. Well.
You might be right about the man bun.
So apparently what Susteren was saying was there was apparently protests behind the building, and so they didn't think anything of it, but they suspect a protester got through. That would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
If there was
Most people aren't just like that worked up unless they're in a group.
So maybe that's what happened. Maybe the Secret Service people got flooded or something. Or they were distracted by the protests and somebody slipped through the cracks.
I don't know. Every time I try to steel man the real argument, I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
So you don't think it's real? So okay, but why would they fake it? Like I'm saying false flag. You're saying
attention.
You think so? You're thinking Trump did it for the midterms? Is that?
I don't know. Is that a good motivation?
I'm not sure. I think the man's arrogant enough to think he's going to win this thing in Iran before the midterms play out. I don't think he's worried about it at all. That's just my estimation of the fella, personally. So I don't think that would be a motive. So I think he's pretty cocky or confident about how the war in Iran is going to play out. And if I were to guess,
the war really lost him a lot of respect.
Yeah, it did. But the thing is, if he gets us out and it's not a forever war and everything's cleaned up by the midterms, he'll win his popularity back and double.
Yeah, but
it'll recoil.
If he won a couple of, or if he not one, but if he escaped a couple of assassination attempts, do you think that might help build his credit back a little bit?
Oh, it certainly help. I mean, yes, it would work. I just don't think Trump would find it necessary myself.
I don't think doing it in front of a room full of hundreds of reporters who can all see the whole thing happen is a good way to make a stunt.
Yeah, there'd be simpler ways to do it too. Yeah,
80% of the reporters
I agree.
probably hate him.
Yeah.
While I agree, these people are divorced from reality and they're in an echo chamber, and so they're trying to paint a picture of what they think we would believe, but they're basing that off of their perspective, which, like, these people don't even fill up their own cars, guys. Like, these people they don't go to the grocery store. They don't know how humans act. Like, the picture that they're painting, like, it's sloppy because they're idiots, basically.
Sorry, hang on here.
That's my opinion.
It just seems like if you're going to do a stunt, there'd be safer ways to do it where you're less likely to get caught than in front of a room full of hundreds of people who all want the thing to be a stunt.
Yeah, I'm with Greg. I feel like there'd be easier ways to do it. But I do think that, yeah, there's a strong possibility that Secret Service might have let somebody through or something like that, because we just keep seeing weird, incomprehensible mistakes. Like, how'd that guy get into the Mar-a-Lago golf course so easily? How did Thomas Crooks get into this building and dodge all these guards? Like, you just keep seeing weird, unlikely stuff happening. And I think you're right to peg the unlikeliness of it, and it does make it seem fake. But I think it's false flags. I don't think it's, yeah. So, yeah, anomalies. Thank you, Calix. So, Calix is asking, so what happened? 100% anomalies. Yeah, that's a better word. So, yeah, so basically Trump dodged another assassination attempt, and we're trying to figure out, first of all, we're trying to figure out if the guy's alive or dead, because we're getting conflicting reports about that. And then Trump is supposed to speak.
Which is a sign of deception.
Possibly. So we're trying to figure out, and Trump is supposed to, so we're trying to figure out that, and Trump is supposed to speak in like 30 minutes. So I think our plan is we'll kind of keep reacting to the news here, and then we'll listen to Trump's speech and kind of go from there. I don't even know if we're going to do what all we had planned tonight, because we had like 5 topics, and we'd be here for like 7 hours. So if we did that. So we're going to just kind of keep piddling along until we figure out. We'll totally hear Trump's speech, basically. So, all right, here. And we're piggybacking off of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Or D-Day Cobra, not Geeks and Gamers. It's D-Day Cobra's live stream. So, which, yeah, I don't know who else would be live streaming. I guess he's on Newsmax. I guess we could jump over the Newsmax. I'm not sure it matters, but do it. It's Saturday night, Kalix says. You want us to cover the rest of them? We'll go as long as we can. How's about that? It'll be like 3 a.m. before we're done, but yeah.
Shoot. Before you're done, I'm out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's reading his own super chats right now. We'll see if we got anything different on X. So law enforcement has requested that we leave the premise consistent with protocol. This is Trump on Truth, which we will do immediately. I will give a press conference in 30 minutes, and this was 29 minutes ago. We got a minute to go. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. The First Lady plus the Vice President and all cabinet members are in perfect condition. We will be speaking to you in a half an hour. I have spoken with all the representatives in charge of the event, and we'll be rescheduling in 30 days, Donald Trump. Breaking, this is Nick Sorter again. The Secret Service has released a statement following the shooting at the White House Correspondent Dinner. The President and the First Lady are safe along all protectees. One individual is in custody, so that's 2 reports saying in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. So, yeah, we got that. So this is that picture again. We're not sure if the guy's alive or dead. Cody.
Is that a blanket over him?
Yeah, some kind of...
He's like naked, dude. It's a cadaver.
Maybe. I thought I saw the dude's head move, so I don't think so, but maybe.
This is all very strange.
You are right. It is strange. It is very strange. So, watch Absolute Panic.
Like his nose. Look at his head again.
Okay.
Like when you lay on the ground, it's not comfortable to put your nose into the ground.
That's true. He should have his
like
head
that
down.
Guy's dead. And I think he's been that way.
Well, maybe they shot him. Maybe the report is that he really did die. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
why
his head would still lay over. I'm saying his head was already, he's rigor mortis.
He's rigor mortis, yeah.
His head would still fall over.
I don't know.
Like, this is weird, dude. I'm out.
Right. You're right. It's weird. All right, let's see. Watch Absolute Panic following shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This guy should not even been able to enter the building. Just insane. Yeah.
Because he was dead. He shouldn't have been able to enter.
Yeah. Something's weird. Breaking. President Trump announces the shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner has been apprehended. 47 wants to go back in. Now the White House is attempting to convince President Trump not to go back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but President is hell-bent on going, per Sean Hannity. Unless they put him in a harness, which they may do, I can see him walking back into that room. A shooter charged the... Let's see here. A shooter charged the magnetometer close to the front door at the White House course. Okay, so there was like a metal detector thing close to the front door at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and shot at a uniformed Secret Service agent. Secret Service returned fire. Conflicting reports as to the condition of the shooter. Okay, so let's see if we got anything new here. All right, so we got some recorded footage. Let's look at this as a moving footage and see if we can see him move. Yeah, his head's moving. All right, hang on. Let's look.
That Donald Trump has. This man is unmatched. His aura is second to none. The emotions that he gets from people positively and negatively, the way he treats the media, the way that he handles things,
rewind that.
it will never. Aura is second to none. the emotions that he gets from people positively and negatively, the way he treats the media, the way that he handles things, it will never happen again.
Not in my lifetime, no.
Enjoy it while it's here, because it will never happen again. Jess says RSBN just went live. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
Let me, because they usually have really good audio on theirs. So RSB.
I mean, it's so crazy that President Trump has a big part in the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix.
He does. All right,
we're gonna move on from that. All right. So, any other thoughts?
I don't know, man. Still hate it.
You're right about it being weird. It's a weird thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure what to make of it. But we'll keep an eye on it till the speech starts. All right, we got somebody talking. It's not Trump, but somebody is on the live thing, so they're going to the press conference room. I'll tell you this much. I'm glad they don't have some 5'4" girl acting as a human shield for the president. That was about the one in Butler.
The one that spoke earlier?
No. In Butler, they had some 5'4" Secret Service gal because it wasn't the regular team. Another reason to think it was a false flag. Yeah. Calix is asking, is it propaganda? That's what we're trying to decide. We're trying to decide if it's propaganda, basically some stunt that the White House is pulling. That's Cody's position. I'm saying it's a false flag. So we're kind of going back and forth on that. We're arguing. So that's kind of the gist of it.
So politicians know there's something within politics, and it's never let a tragedy go unused, or
never let a good crisis go to waste. You're quoting Rahm Emanuel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so at a certain point within that political sphere, when you're always trying to garner attention from things like that, it switches, and you're like, oh, I'll cause the thing, and then I can just make attention to garner, right? And I that's where you get in the land of weird stuff that doesn't add up. And I just think without that influence, that those weird little things that we see in all these conspiracy theories, they just don't exist. When it's a real assassination attempt, it looks like a real assassination attempt.
Let me push back a little bit. I think Trump is entirely too vain to think that he would need a fake assassination attempt. I think he believes he is MAGA. And MAGA is going to do what he says because he is Trump. I think he is going to win this war, or he believes with absolute certainty he is going to win this war quickly, and he is going to rebound for the midterms. I think he is very, very confident. Now, I could be wrong. I know the polls don't reflect that right now, but if I were to guess, I would say Trump is very confident in his position. So, I don't think there's any real cause for him to set something like this up. That's me. I think what you're suggesting would be indicative of somebody who is very insecure. Like, I would expect somebody like Biden to do it.
Yeah. The difference in our argument is that you give Trump the credit for, how do I say this? I don't think Trump's ego belongs to him anymore. It belongs to the party.
No, I think he's very, very proud. I think he is a very, very proud man.
That's where we differ right there.
All right. Greg, what do you think? And Trevor, talk after Greg. You guys keep being quiet.
I don't think it makes sense for it to be some sort of stunt. For one thing, if it was, I wouldn't necessarily put something like that past him, but it would make more sense for that to be closer to the midterms, because by the midterms, nobody will even remember this.
That's
the news cycles are so fast. It's still a long ways away.
I don't even know when the midterms are.
November.
So. Okay.
Yeah. Trevor.
I mean, that's...
Sorry, Greg. Go on.
Nobody would even remember it by then.
Yeah. You got a point there.
Trevor, what do you think?
I think it's a psyop.
So you're with Cody.
No, but I don't think it's the Trump administration psyop.
Who's psyop then?
Like the left. or really honestly more higher up than the left. I think it's like businessmen.
Well, it only makes sense from them if they, are actually really trying to do it, in which case it's kind of like what me and Gary are saying, where it's an assassination attempt on the inside.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Because like one of them, the kid that took the shot, I don't remember which one it was, but he worked for BlackRock at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're talking about Crooks. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Calix says, I can agree. So, yes.
We all concur.
I concur. I concur completely. So.
You're in my concurrence.
You're in my concurrence. So, yeah, no, what would be interesting is last time in Butler with that one, people were betting against Trump's companies. Like they were like gambling. Mm-hmm. There's gambling being made. So bets taking place. So it'd be interesting to see if some stocks shifted dramatically in the days leading up to this. See if there's any nefarious business, because these guys can't keep their mouths shut, and these business guys, when there's false flags, they talk, and Mm-hmm. But I'm sure Bob Iger hiring Bob Chapek just before COVID was a total coincidence. Nothing weird there at all. And the insurance policies, writing a thing that kind of makes sure that plagues don't count in the tourism industry. Not weird. Not weird. They don't talk. It's all fine. So, anyway.
You know what I find weird is if they were in a Hilton.
They were in a what?
If they were in a Hilton, there's cameras everywhere.
They are in a Hilton.
They would have footage. They would already have footage of whoever that guy was and how he got in.
And it's gone. So.
We had it, and it's gone.
Which is weird. Weird. So.
Which is why I think it's all just AI pushing AI stuff.
Oh, I know.
None of these videos look AI.
Yeah, I don't think they look AI. I've been working a lot with AI. AI is overrated, man. It's so overrated. It can't do that much.
Hey, that's what I said in the beginning. I said not to be afraid of it because it's dumb.
They're starting to figure it out. Those people in, the investor types. Let's see, it was the... one of the leaders of the AI version in Microsoft, whatever one that's called, he said, we thought it was going to lead us to the singularity, talking about ChatGPT. But then this year at COSM, he was like, turns out ChatGPT is a glorified autocorrect. So they've dropped down their expectations significantly.
We had the same thing on like E-Bombs World in like 2000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's overrated for sure. It ain't gonna be nothing. But they're creating a bubble with it, and a bunch of people are gonna lose their shirts. I'm telling you, it's they'll figure it out. Huh?
That was a little on the nose for tonight's episode.
Oh, it's almost like shots fired. So. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. They're still playing the same fate. I guess he's taking a while. Let's see. Carrie Lake is on, though. Let's see what Carrie Lake has to say. The person that should be the governor of Arizona.
Does he like to carry lakes?
Carrie Lake is a person.
Her name is like an impossibility. Can't carry water around.
Sure you can, because it's not wet.
Okay, we're going to listen to this before we drown in stupid. So...
Or her name is a metaphor for a piece of pipe.
And there were incredible amounts of Secret Service
military
that were taking charge of the room. I don't know if they...
Oh, no. Dude, this has got to be the comment of the night. Hang on, I got to find it. Samsonite. I was way off from Dumb and Dumber. Remember that?
All right, I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, we're going to move on. Maybe I just need to jump to Newsmax. That's what he's pulling from anyway. So hold on here. Let me...
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing the same two pieces of footage over and over again. Like,
It's called killing time, like what we're doing. Everybody's going, well, did the president show up already? So that's what's going on right now.
There's so much. I just feel like there would be so much more footage. You know?
would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's reporters everywhere, and everybody has at least 2 cell phones on them there. It's like, that's it?
Yeah.
It's like they were only allowed to put out a couple of approved pieces of footage.
And it still worked.
That's true. Let's see. Okay, so we're just gonna we're not gonna take poor Jeremy's show because I like Jeremy and I don't want him mad at me. So there we go. We're just copying from the exact same news source. So yay, we're learning. So anywho,
Erica Kirk rushed out of. Why is she? Jeez.
Because Charlie Kirk and Trump were friends. Why is that suspicious? It's like, well, I guess we don't. They're not gonna like ditch her now that Charlie's dead. That would be awful.
It's all ridiculous.
What are you shaking your head for?
I can't stand any of these people.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, look, an AI press room.
Yeah, Trevor. It's all AI. Because look, I'm sorry, but the lack of imagination, it just screams politician. There's no way that an AI made that. That is entirely too boring for AI.
All right, we'll go with Grok then.
Grok, okay. Oh, man. So they got a girl talking into a microphone. I guess that's a reporter. Oh, it's the CNN lady. It's the, you're a very nasty person. CNN. It's the CNN lady. Boy, she got dressed up for that dinner, didn't she? Oh, my goodness. Oh. You just watch her. She'll be like, Trump will be in the middle of his speech. She'll go, excuse me. Are you sure he was aiming for you? Just hear her. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they got the CEO talking.
The CEO of what?
Newsmax. So, is anything interesting happening right now?
There were various. I saw Robert Kennedy, for instance, was in the audience. The Secret Service grabbed him. A number of the Trump cabinet.
Okay, so he was a witness.
Grabbed them and removed them. And we didn't have a lot of direction on what was going on. We knew that there was gunshots. We knew somebody. Then we heard somebody had been shot.
Yeah. So, Chris, what do you expect? This is a moment now for the president. We've got a live look at the podium in the White House briefing room.
Okay, Cody, this is going to be really stupid. But the strongest piece of evidence for your argument has been that picture right there. That dude covered in shadows and all bald. That's like the most cinematic Secret Service shot ever. Now I'm like, okay, I believe Cody now. I've been persuaded. That is so melodramatic. That's like disgustingly melodramatic. Sorry. Anyway. All right.
In a holding room for about an hour before heading back to the White House. There was some consideration that the event would go forward, but law enforcement suggested he leave, and he did with the First Lady. What do you anticipate from him? I mean, this is obviously a moment, as you mentioned, we're at war. Well, this president's under threat.
Yeah. Number one rule in any of these type of things, is it a lone gunman or is there a larger group involved? So I didn't know that they kept him in a holding room, but it makes sense, right? Because they're afraid they did this shooting, and then somebody's going to be waiting for him as he's exiting the building, right? So that's what they were worried, that there was more people involved. And it was clear to us they were keeping us all. We were in the room. Everybody's standing up. Nobody knows what's going on. We did hear somebody was shot, and that the president was even thinking of coming back. He wanted to come back and continue the dinner. And then apparently the Secret Service somewhat overruled him and said, this is not a very good idea. There might be other security threats. We should get you to a secure location. So the dinner has ended. We are.
I'm sorry. I just kind of have a problem with that. I'm like, he's the president. You don't get to tell him no. What are you talking about? Come on, that's ridiculous.
So that's what. Okay, so remember what I said earlier? Like Trump doesn't own his ego; the party does.
Well, that's the Secret Service, though. They're not the party. I'm just saying.
He's doing what he's told, man. I'm just telling you.
I don't know. There might be some truth to that. I have to think about that. But I don't think the Secret Service is the one telling them necessarily. I mean, they could be. Trevor, what do you think?
I'm not making that claim. I don't know who's telling him.
Yeah, but
I think there's too many secrets.
Very enlightened. Very enlightened, sir. No, I'm saying that the Secret Service, why do they get to tell him no? It's like, your job to keep him safe, dude. Like, what do you mean they told him he can't go back to the dinner? That's his call. Like, if he wants to sit there and say, like, encourage the country or whatever by making a show and coming back, that's his business, not the Secret Service. They don't get to make that call.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's the Secret Service making calls. I think they're who you would say is making the calls.
Yes, Greg. Sorry, Trevor.
All right. Kids are up. I got to go.
All right. See ya, man.
All right. Later, Greg.
Appreciate you coming on.
Crush it.
Talk to you later.
See you, Greg.
Bye. The children have woken up.
Man, he's a good dad.
He is. He is indeed. All right, here we go. Let me get all my windows set back up here.
But yeah, like who you if you didn't want to say who was giving you orders, you would say it was the Secret Service saying, like.
But
you know what I'm saying?
If they knew it was fake, they'd probably let him go back, though, don't you think?
No, because that would screw up the perception.
Are you sure? I would think it would make Trump look pretty, tough. You think it'd be jumping the shark?
Yeah, I mean, I think they need to let the tension build a little bit.
Out on the street there
I
walking.
see. Sorry, hang on. I just got to get this going again because I paused it for some reason. Okay, so
that's how you know it's not authentic. Because like Trump would just come back out like 10 minutes later, like, oh, they shot the guy. I'm coming back out. Here we go. Right. That would be his decision. But
that would be typical Trump behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they
overruled
him.
Because they're following a script, they're like, oh, well, we have to wait 45 minutes or to the next day, or I don't know what script they're following, but they're following a script.
I guess I just don't see the point. I would think that they would, like say, yeah, go out there because they'd know there's no threat. There's no additional threat. If this was this whole thing was an op and they knew there was nobody else, then they would just let him go back out.
How long have we been talking about this incident?
An hour.
Okay. How long would we talk about this incident if Trump would have come out 10 minutes after it happened and finished his speech and wrapped up and went home?
Probably about 2 hours because he just kept talking.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have kept talking about it if Trump would have just kept talking. We didn't care until he got shot.
Yeah. Okay, I'm being stupid. I'm lost. What's your point?
We wouldn't be paying attention to this right now if it wasn't for this whole the shooting thing.
That's true. We would be talking about other things. We'd be reading the Bible and talking about other stuff. Yes, you're right.
Right.
I know that there's... Okay, I understand.
It worked.
I understand that this would get him bonus attention or whatever, but I'm saying my whole argument to you was I don't think he needs it.
I think he does because he pissed everybody off with this Iran thing. So now he's got to go be a hero like Enrique Iglesias.
I don't know about that. I'm telling you, I think his ego. I don't think even if there is a problem with the war, I don't think he would admit it. If there was something wrong, he's either got a plan and he's not sticking to the plan.
He's just
admit it to himself. Admit it to himself. I think the guy is very, very confident. And so even if we were losing, I don't think he would admit it to himself. I mean, has he admitted that he's stumped on Putin and Zelensky, even though it's been like a year of him trying to stop that war and he hasn't been able to do it? No, he's just went radio silent on it. Like, the guy doesn't admit when he's whooped. So I don't think it's in his mentality to add this like weird fake assassination attempt to get brownie points or whatever. I think he believes he's going to win the war. And I think that he believes that once he wins that war and everybody sees it's not going to be a forever war, because again, everybody's thinking this is Iraq 2.0 or whatever. And I think in his mind, if it turns out not to be Iraq 2.0 and he's able to get out in time, then whatever negative consequences he's having right now, he's going to get all that support back and more. That's where I think his brain is at. And I don't think he'd have a adequate motive to do something like this. I don't think we're there yet. And plus, like Greg said, they do this way later in the year. Like, people are going to forget about this by November. This isn't going to be a long-term fix, if that's what they're doing. If it was fake or whatever.
No, I'm sure there will be more.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
What do you think, Trevor?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to try again.
Well, you think Trump is going to try again, or you think somebody else is going to try to kill him?
Well, I mean, as far as there's so many people right now that think that we have a PDH file as a president, and they really don't want that. So that's the narrative they're playing to piss these people off.
You really think that's the case? You think a bunch of people on the left are convinced he's a PDF?
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed.
Is that on TikTok or something? Because I ain't on TikTok. I don't spend a lot of time on there.
It's mostly all over TikTok.
Cody, have you heard anything about that? People thinking that Trump's a PDF?
No. Yeah, and some people are truly convinced of it, like 100%.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going on for sure. Like, I think he's protecting friends that he is afraid is going to look bad because of the blackmail racket. But anyway, what about this? Trump's on. Let's see what's going on here. Oh my goodness.
Is that Cash? Cash App, PayPal?
Yeah, there's our buddy. There's our buddy.
Together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did. Because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see a man charge a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons. And he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf.
They're being really serious right now.
Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the D.C. police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker.
Yes, Sad Sons. There was another assassination attempt. It's like 4 or something. Calix has said LOL several times. I apologize for not reading that earlier, by the way. Yeah. So me and Cody are trying to decide if it was a false flag or a media stunt. And yeah, we really don't know much of anything. It's just kind of happened, and Trump's talking right now. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
If you listen to the ways he's talking about stuff too, he's like, well, we looked at this, we looked at that, and we looked at. It's just like, I don't know.
He's always like that.
It's almost.
He's always like that. He never acts any different. So
I don't know. It's just like he's trying to paint a picture for you. It's what liars do.
He's a marketer. He's a business guy. He's a marketer. I mean, he's just like it's ingrained. It's ingrained. He's like a 70-year-old
I can't believe anything he says. I don't know.
It's just good business.
It's just good business. Yeah.
No one's ever seen business like this before.
And under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But
Calix says, they never tell the truth. This is true. They're lying about something 99% of the time.
In light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people, and there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But we were, First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like
to... We were both wrong, Cody. No man bun. I don't know what I was seeing, but I feel really foolish now. There was no man bun.
Dead or no?
Oh, he's alive. We saw him turning his head, but...
Darn it.
I'm almost disappointed about there being a lack of man bun. I just saw a man bun on the guy. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd
Definitely doesn't look like a cadaver.
Nope. Definitely not a cadaver. Oh, goodness. Can't really tell anything much about the guy, can you, though?
No.
Yeah.
Come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage. And I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you. Dr. Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The President's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have
such
their
a
back.
yes man.
And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service.
You and I were thinking the same thing. Have you noticed? I know. I'm right there with you on that. Did you notice, though? This is something that's interesting. They have always paired Todd Blanche and Kash Patel together. They've had them doing the same, like all their press conferences in pairs. Now, Pam Bondi and Patel never did that. They never.
I have not noticed that because this is the only time I ever watch this stuff.
Well, you know what that means, and this scares me to death. If Kash Patel becomes our Attorney General, I am going to scream. I am going to scream, and it is going to hurt so bad. And you can tell he's gunning for it. That's what that... It was. If it wasn't for you, President, I would be a lost man. You know, all that crap.
Welcome to America. My name is Kasha Patel. Thank you. Come again.
It's going to hurt my soul, Cody. I don't know if I'll be able to take it. Oh, my goodness.
I can't stand it, man.
Trevor, what do you think?
Well, I was just listening.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll just keep going.
Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene, to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty, because we have leadership here with the president, the vice president, that backs law enforcement. And the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining.
Before I started using the farmer's dog, I would fill my dog's bowls up with dry kibble in the morning.
not like
and they
it's
just
a
kind of walk
national
by and
emergency
pick
or
at it all
anything.
day.
Was either
I
a
like the
local
dog
doctor
commercial better.
or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, we'll do a couple, and then we go to the chief. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. It's happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact, we were sitting right next to each other, the First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really...
Jess asks, did this just happen tonight? Yes, it did. It did. About 15 minutes. Yeah, or like right before we went live. Yeah. It's kind
Now that we're getting all this new info, I'm changing my tune a little bit for the record.
Okay. What do you think's going on?
I don't know. I mean, Trump is convincing, I guess.
Well, that dude was booking, though. He was. What's interesting is he came from a back
hall.
Yeah,
the extra camera footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think somebody let him in, and he just made a mad dash or something, or somehow maybe he got snuck in somehow through a door he may have thought was open or something. Because there wasn't a plan. He just darted. You know. Yeah. So that's crazy.
I don't know, man. There's something fishy going on still, but
yeah, well, you're always like, how did he even get that close? Like that's like the first thing that comes to your mind. It's like, how does this even happen? You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What were you gonna say, Trevor?
Well, yeah, and also that he did say there was a protest earlier happening while they're having this dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be chaotic outside. We don't know.
Right. Yeah, it could be a lot happening outside. That's true.
We got him. But, so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was.
What the? Let's see here. Hang on. We're
The
getting lag.
Newsmax lose their feed.
Looks like the video just got assassinated.
I know, right?
A lot. We've done a
All right,
lot.
there we go.
We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country.
What?
And there are a lot of people that are not happy
Marketing.
about that. So I think that's the answer.
Marketing.
And after Butler, your team for a
Say
while
it
rethought outdoor
often
events.
enough, it'll
Do you think that you
come
now
true.
need to rethink
No.
indoor?
Well, but then you just
Manifesting.
don't do
You're into
events.
that,
no,
right?
I can't do that. I have to.
No.
What it, it is what it is. We have to do it.
My bad.
The room was very, very secure. He charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally.
Calix says, we're poor. I'm poor.
You thought I was into manifesting?
I was joking.
Oh,
It was a joke. It was a ha-ha.
All right. I was just making sure, man.
I'm
'cause
just
I
ribbing you.
thought we were clear on this. All right.
I was just
He was manifesting, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to manifest laughter.
By the time he was there, they were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be. I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy, and you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead,
Do you know
Caitlin.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. They had him down.
So Jess says, man, he was booking it. He was. Dude is moving fast. It's crazy.
He was fighting hard. He was in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees.
No, Jess, we don't have a name for the gunman yet. Not yet.
Take minutes to be escorted out of the room.
No,
Sorry, Trevor?
We might have to wait till tomorrow for that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get more information tomorrow. Yeah.
They acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, it's my life, and I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot.
Jess asks, do you think he'll have 3 names if he was funded by the SPLC? Yes. So, anyway, who knows? It's a mystery.
There's you, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening
Well, I
again?
can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job. In my opinion,
Aren't you scared,
a much better
Mr.
job than
Trump?
Butler had.
That is something I'm noticing. If this was some kind of false flag, this was the stupidest false flag ever, because those reporters are swooning. It's like, wait, this happened to me, and I was scared. He was scared. What is this emotion? Empathy? Oh my gosh. This guy may have just won the media over for Trump. What are the Democrats going to do now? Oh, ruh-roh.
One weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds.
Kalik says, I can't be concerned. I'm too busy winning. That's right. There you go.
Yeah, fear is ridiculous. Nobody needs that.
From a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it, now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say,
Jess says, help me, Max. I'm feeling.
hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew.
Shot.
He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired. And if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed.
And it looks like Trump's wearing a fun little hat because of the thing behind him.
Sorry, say that again?
It looks like Trump's wearing a fun little hat because of the White House behind him.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And how come that's not a dome on the picture of the White House? That's interesting.
I don't know.
It's a pyramid.
The AI made a mistake. Unless it's Illuminati confirmed.
It must be. It has to be.
Yeah.
People very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so. In a sense, you know, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot, as you know. They should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight. But I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor? And has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just my look.
Did you notice that verbiage?
Profession.
A lone actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reporters use that verbiage because that's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by truth, we mean absolutely not. It was a giant conspiracy, but don't look at us, please. So,
yeah.
Great professionals up here and outside that have been.
I don't know. This is probably like my experience in Seattle talking, but the guy looks like my first impression without knowing anything about him. The guy kind of has that lanky, kind of homeless, stringy look. You know what I mean? That I saw a lot in Seattle. So I'm kind of wondering if he's a mentally ill dude. I'm kind of considering it. Like,
I mean, most of them are.
Yeah, but I mean, like, talking to yourself and not able to type on a computer, mentally ill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think most of them are that way by the time they end up committing these crimes.
So you don't think he started out that way? You think the Fed, like, fries him to that degree before they send him in.
Yeah. 100%.
That could be. That could be.
I mean, it's the story of every patsy. I mean,
Thomas Crooks looked drugged out. You see him as a kid, like before he was in, like even during that BlackRock commercial, you know, he looked like just a normal kid. And then when you see him during the assassination, I mean, he looks rough.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like they infect him with a mind virus, and it's like that idea just grows in them until they're just so full of hate that they can't see straight.
Yeah. Dude, I'll never forget. This is one of the creepiest things I ever saw. And they never talked about it again on InfoWars. It was crazy. But when there was a bunch of chaos going on after the Butler assassination, like I was watching live streams till like 12 in the morning or something like that.
Ooh, I don't know who that is.
Thomas Crooks was the kid that shot at Trump in Pennsylvania.
Where you got him in the ear?
Yeah, where he got Trump in the ear.
Oh, okay.
And I remember while watching that, and it was a strange thing. But on Twitter, things were happening so fast. And note, they learned. This is how you know. This is another reason how you know it was a Fed thing, because they learned afterwards. Because you didn't get the same response with Ukraine. I don't think. But like they were quicker on it and people were looking for it. So I think they grabbed this stuff down from the internet from the Ukraine guy faster than the Crooks guy, if that makes any sense. Like taking down his social media posts and his social media feed, like scrubbing his internet presence. Like they got to Crooks, but I think they got to the Ukraine guy a little bit faster, if memory serves. Anyway, I was watching an InfoWars live stream about it. And somebody on Twitter had uploaded Crooks's Instagram feed onto the internet, and it was Crooks. We didn't know who the shooter was at the time, but putting two and two together after the fact, it definitely was Crooks. And Crooks was talking into the phone, and he says, "Just so you know," or something like that. And then he kind of leans quickly into the phone screen and goes, "You got the wrong guy." And then it's like a real creepy voice, and he shuts the phone off. So he'd sent that. I'm sorry?
He manifested.
Yeah. Well, he was saying he wasn't acting alone, and then he shuts his phone off. And then he goes out, and this was in the car before he entered the fairground. Of course, we didn't know that at the time because we didn't know what the shooter looked like. But I remember...
That could also be a demonic quip, too.
You got the wrong guy?
Yeah.
It could be. It was just weird because I never saw the video again after that. You know, they shut it down. And I remember, was it Chase Geyser? It was one of those sub-hosts or not co-hosts, but they had their own shows on InfoWars. It wasn't Chase Geyser. It was the other one with the glasses. Well, they both have glasses. Anyway, there's two of them. Not Chase Geyser, the other one. But, yeah, they, looked scared when they saw it. And they shut it off really quick, and they never played it again. So... weird. It was weird, but it was definitely Crooks in that Instagram feed. And I saw it once, vanished. So, but yeah, he was acting all out of sorts the day of, and you could see it. You could certainly see it on his face during that phone message, but you could also see it in the pictures and stuff. I mean, they worked hard to cover that up. So you might be right about them frying these guys before they ever send them in.
I don't think people will, unless they're fried, I don't think they'll do crazy things like this.
Well, not in such a stupid manner. You know, not climbing on top of a tin building where you're in perfect eye, you know, where you can be easily seen 100 yards off. They're not going to charge into a hotel room. They're not going to hide in the bushes at Mar-a-Lago. Like, if you've looked at successful or, close to successful lone gunman scenarios in the past, they're always they fire in the crowd. And then they try to disappear as the crowd runs away or something like that. You know what I mean? Typically, they've got a smaller gun. They get into, when Theodore Roosevelt, when they tried to shoot Theodore Roosevelt, the guy pulled out a gun and tried to shoot him at close range with a pistol type thing. But it was a smaller caliber gun, and basically, I don't remember if Roosevelt had a Bible or a stack of papers that was his speech. There's different... I don't remember what he had, but basically he didn't die because he had something in his pocket that stopped the bullet. And he kept going with the speech kind of out of spite. But, yeah, those lone gunman scenarios, you know, it's too technical. You know what I'm saying? Like with the CIA covering all the ground and, you know, checking everything beforehand. As I said, when Bush Jr. showed up at C of O, like the Secret Service were hovering around that place for a week before he ever showed up. And you knew they were there. Like they take a lot of precautions. And so it just seems very difficult to imagine that those people that would show up a week prior would allow somebody to go into a kill box or leave a hotel with only 2 or 3 exits open so that some druggie can run in the back. Like that just doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
And I've never heard the Theodore Roosevelt thing, or if I did, I forgot. But that sounds like bullshit too.
Not that I think it was a true historical account. But my point is, and even bringing it up, is that this whole like sniper on the roof thing, like that doesn't. It's too difficult to get in those areas because that's the first place the Secret Service looks, unless they're being set up.
Right.
You know. But anyway, that's just me. Just all speculating.
Working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. And they have to be dealt with. We had that in this.
But just so you know, I mean, it could be lone wolf stuff. I don't suppose it's impossible. What do you think, Trevor?
He probably was playing a lot of GTA 5 and thought he could just GTA 5 his way into there.
Well, he thought right.
Every 90s parent is very proud of you, Trevor.
He didn't even have to respawn.
I know, right? Oh, that's ridiculous.
I think I played that yesterday, actually.
Well,
it's a fun game.
Illuminati confirmed you're going to be a lone gunman tomorrow, Cody. Congratulations. That Grand Theft Auto 5, man, it's an op. It's an op.
It'll be all right.
Second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know...
They're just broken.
I think
they're
very
just fucked up,
shortly,
broken people. We just got to kill them.
A lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically motivated.
All violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. I tell this.
So Jess says a steel reinforced eye case and a 50-page speech that was folded. That was the material in Roosevelt's chest pocket.
Yeah, say it again.
A steel reinforced eye case and a 50-page speech that was folded is what stopped the bullet.
That's a lot of stuff to have in your pocket.
Big pockets back then, I guess.
Big pockets.
Big pockets, yeah.
He always wore big pockets.
There you go. There you go.
Car drivers, I think it's very.
And then Jess says that's what was in Roosevelt's pocket when he was shot in the chest. So.
Yeah. Quite big pockets.
Big pockets.
Dangerous. So, if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%, but if you take presidents, it's 5.8%, and about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. It's part of the job. It is a dangerous, I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous, but I love the country and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most.
Jess says these items prevented the bullet from entering his lung or heart, though it's still lodged in his chest. Then she says, after coughing into his hand and seeing no blood, Roosevelt concluded his lung was intact and ordered his driver to proceed to the auditorium instead of the hospital. And so he's like, I'm fine.
Successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things, but with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well, because of you guys. Like, if this stuff really is lone gunmen, and it's not like government stuff, it's because the freaking media turned up the temperature for forever. It said, you guys are racist, you're evil, you're the epitome of Satan. It's like, yeah, thanks to you, that's the cost of doing business. Thank you, media. Thank you for turning everybody crazy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
what does that say about our country?
Too. You know, we're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
Will turn that temperature down at this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody.
Okay, did you catch that question? He was basically like, do you think it's time to turn the temperature down? I.e., this assassination attempt was your fault, right? If you were just a little bit nicer. Like, he's tacitly trying to create this narrative that Trump is the one that's responsible for his own assassination because he does mean tweets or something.
I'm surprised he didn't tell that guy to leave.
I know, right? It's like,
hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, was it Jeremy from D-Day Cobra always says, you can't hate the media enough. You don't hate them enough. You just don't. Like, what a sleazeball.
You rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it.
Imagine being able to build an app with.
Thanks, YouTube.
This exhausts me.
I know. I hate YouTube so much.
No, not the ads, Trump.
And I called everybody together.
This exhausts me. Him talking about this war and all that.
Oh, I didn't realize he switched subjects. Let me listen for a minute. What's he saying?
He said, we have to take a little journey. I seek to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term.
He's talking about
Wasn't
the Dow?
reachable. We did it in 1 year. And I said, we're going to have to make a journey to.
Dude, nobody talk. That's one thing that does annoy me. Like, nobody cares
He
about the
rolled
Dow.
from.
It's like gas is $3.50 right now.
Yeah. He rolled from the Iran war into talking about the Dow because he's telling you what he's doing with the war.
What kind of advisor is telling him to do that, though? Because it's like, nobody cares. Like, I'm willing to pay $3.50 because I cannot stand Iran, but a lot of people are mad about the gas. So why are you pivoting to the Dow? People cannot spend the Dow. That's just a stupid talking point.
Because he doesn't live in reality, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I do think being rich.
This guy doesn't fill up his own tank. He looks at stocks.
Yeah, well, I think it's a generational thing too. It's like the guys.
It's like how much money will I have in the bank in 20 years? He doesn't care how much gas is.
That does annoy me. You are right. Every time I get mad when I start hearing about the Dow. That does tick me off. He needs to stop doing that.
They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous job," but that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight.
She's a Russian spy.
She is not a Russian spy. Why are you saying she's a Russian spy? That's ridiculous. Why?
Because the first lady is a Russian freaking.
What? I don't buy that for a second.
The first lady is Russian. Our head of CIA is a Cash App, PayPal, whatever. Dude, it's ridiculous.
Those are not connected facts at all. What do you?
It's ridiculous.
She is not a Russian.
We're just trying to be all inclusive.
It's diversity, Cody. Come on.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need Americans in America. That makes sense, right?
Americans in America.
That's why we open the borders.
Yeah, so we can have more Americans, Cody. So
ridiculous. Ridiculous. I hate all of this. I don't do politics, Gary.
Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on there being an assassination attempt tonight.
All of this stuff irritates me.
That was not on the bingo card. But, I was like, we have to talk about it. It's just happening. What do I do?
Gary. It's not bingo. It's Uno, remember?
I'm getting my analogies mixed up because I'm an idiot, Trevor. I'm a fool. What do you want from me?
No, that video we did the other day, it was Uno.
Uno?
Remember?
What? Oh, like Trump Uno'd himself?
Uno
Yeah, he did the Uno reverse and Uno'd himself, yeah. That's right. I remember that. Okay, so Calyx sent a laugh emoji. Thank you, Calyx. We try. We try very hard. So
it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to
there's a hint.
The names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to call that good for the present. So.
Nice.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
He hinted at
Huh?
Go ahead.
Cody, you go first, then Trevor, you follow.
Oh, I said you already heard mine.
Okay, Trevor, what's your thoughts?
He hinted at his name. It's Trey.
Trey? Okay.
Yeah, his name was Trey.
Well, we'll wait till that gets confirmed. So
I missed that. What?
I didn't hear it either.
He said he was hoping it was Trey.
I didn't hear
Never
that.
mind.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, well, all right. So here's what I propose we do. I'm not going to cover all the subjects tonight because we can't. I do think we should do the Bible reading, and then I will cover the SPLC, and that'll be it. Because I'm wanting to switch over to entirely faith stuff anyway, because the algorithm has been evil, and we need to really niche. But I did want to talk about the SPLC tonight because that was such a big news story this week. So we'll just batch the politics up for this week, and then we'll just go over to faith subjects next week. And then, yeah, let's do the Bible reading because that's kind of like our tradition, I guess. So does that sound good to you, gentlemen?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think we've covered this as much as we can, and we'll maybe bring it up, if something new develops. So, all right, we're going to move on. So we're going to switch over to, let's see if I can actually get the Bible Gateway thing up. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not moving fast enough. There we go. All right, so we're starting on Genesis 31. And, this is when Jacob flees from Laban. So I guess I will jump into it. So, and he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. So Laban's sons are mad at Jacob because Jacob has actually gotten all the wealth over time.
You want to do an intro?
Sure. How about you do it?
Welcome to Faith Fiction and Folklore, or the Try It podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And tonight we're going to read Genesis chapter 31. And Gary and Cody, how you guys doing?
Very well.
Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy night.
Crazy night.
Yeah, but I'm still alive. So all right.
What made it crazy?
Yeah. All right. So we'll do verse 2. And Jacob beheld the so Genesis 31, verse 2. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. And he said thus, if he said thus, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ring straked shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring straked. So basically, every time Laban tried to cheat him, God maneuvered the deal so that Jacob still benefited, is what that means. So I think this is relevant because in the previous chapter, for those who don't remember, it was kind of like up in the air whether or not God was doing a miracle or whether this was some kind of horticulture practice or some kind of agricultural practice. And I think this verse might suggest that this is more of a miracle thing, not something that actually works in real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So God's doing something supernatural to make sure Jacob still profits. And the angel of the Lord spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob, and I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. Are we not counted of him strangers? Yeah, so the girls are ticked off at their dad. So, and Jess says, totally normal, too. Yeah, totally normal. So, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm assuming the fact that the daughters hate their dad so much, but I don't know. So tell us what you mean, Jess, if you wouldn't mind. So they're saying, are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us and hath quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's, now then whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. So it looks like they're mad at Laban. That seems to be building on that. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels. And he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Paddan Ram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled. And he took his brethren with him, and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the Mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done? Thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives, taken with the sword. So this is a good example of Laban's wonderful temperament. His daughters clearly hate him, but Jacob is the one who has stolen them away. So, wherefore didst thou flee away secretly and steal away from me, and didst not tell me that I might have sent thee away with mirth and with songs, with tabret and with harp, and hast and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing.
This guy sucks so bad.
I know. He's a piece of crap. So, it is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob, either good or bad. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? Now that's bizarre to me, because I'm pretty sure the other gods haven't visited Laban in a dream. Yet the real God shows up and he still wants his toy gods. Yep. Interesting.
Laban's garbage.
Yep, and empiricism is bullcrap. People don't believe things based on evidence, generally speaking. So they believe what they want to.
Yeah.
So, and Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee, for Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. So, and Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found in all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. This 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day, the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I have served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now empty. God hath seen my affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones and made an heap, and they did eat thereupon the heap. And Laban called to it Jegar-Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. And Laban said, This heap is witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. And Mitzvah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or thou shalt take over other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham, and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread, and they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them, and Laban departed, and returned unto his place. There you go. What a piece of crap.
Well done. Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah, so even after all that, he's like, these are my daughters, these are my kids, and those are my cattle. He's a very bitter man, apparently. So
yeah, I might have put him in a hole.
Possibly. What do you think, Trevor?
I got lost in all the these and thous and that's and thuses, but I think I got the gist of the story.
That sounds like that's thou's problem. So
yeah.
All right, moving on to 32. All right, and Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, This is God's host, and he called the name of that place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, and the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. The servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed there until now. And I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servants and women servants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in thy sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and herds and the camels, into 2 bands. And said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, The Lord which saidest unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become two bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And thou saidest, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea. Make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand at present for Esau his brother, 200 she-goats, and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 foals. And he delivered them into the land and the hand of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou, and whither goest thou, and whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau, and behold, also he is behind us. So he commanded the second and the third, and all that followed the drove, saying, On this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him. And say ye moreover, Behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face, peradventure he will accept of me. So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. So that's the story of Jacob wrestling with God, which is why he's called Israel, because Israel wrestles with God. And then the first part is his plan to try to win Esau's favor. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
I like it because it's that second half, the story of Jacob wrestling with God, because I think it's indicative of the nature of the covenant. It's kind of a foreshadowing of what's going to happen. Men resist God, they wrestle with God, and there's this kind of tug-of-war, but God always pursues.
Isn't that like when you try to follow the law and you don't accept Christ, isn't that wrestling with God?
That's what Israel does, in a sense. Yeah, they wrestle with him and fight him over every little thing. Yes, it's like pulling teeth to get him to do whatever. Yeah. It's the nature of the. It's like a foreshadowing is probably the best way to put it. So, but yeah, What does he say in Exodus? They are a stiff-necked people. So
yeah, the pineal thing too is interesting because the pineal gland in your brain.
Oh,
so it's like all of this is like an allegory for wrestling with your thoughts, kind of thing.
that's an interesting connection. So the pineal gland, is that what you said? Some part of your
pineal.
brain?
It's
Pineal.
like Pineal.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't know.
It looks like a pine cone.
Mm.
You know, pineal.
Pineal. Okay, let me see if I can look this up really quick. Hang on.
Pretty interesting. But it's the gland that opens when you're deep in prayer, I believe.
Mm. That is an interesting connection. I wonder if that was done on purpose.
Is it the same one that people call their third eye?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so this is what it says. This is the AI. It says the pineal gland is a small pine cone-shaped endocrine gland in the brain that primarily produces and secretes melatonin to regulate the body's circadian rhythm, the sleep-wake cycle. It releases more melatonin at night in response to darkness and decreases production in light. It also supports reproduction function and acts as an antioxidant. So there you go. Pineal.
Dope.
It's interesting. I didn't realize it was similar name. So you got, let's see, the pineal gland and what do you call it? Pineal. It's very similar. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah. The place pineal. Yeah. There you go. That's an interesting connection.
Wasn't that in his hip?
But you got two different names. You got pineal and then pineal. Or that might be a typo or something with the internet. Interesting. Huh. That might be actually a typo because it's spelled differently in different places here. I'm wondering if that's a gateway thing. Anyway. Interesting, Cody. That was a really interesting connection. So. But yeah.
All is mind, bro.
Trevor, you got any thoughts?
So, some people have asked me about this. See if I can get their question right. How do we know that it wasn't just a person that he wrestled with?
Because he...
Instead of God.
Because he popped his hip out of place by just touching it, for one thing.
Okay.
Then how did he wrestle all night? And that's the only thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah. And he also wouldn't give his...
So was there a supernatural thing, or did he actually physically wrestle with him?
I would suspect it was physical wrestling, like he wrestled with... Like, you could argue there's one or two ways to look at it. I don't think it's an angel, because usually when God... Like, someone asks God's name, he usually responds that way, you know. But also... I completely lost my train of thought. I'm getting tired, I guess. So, yeah, so there's the hesitation to say the name. Also, the supernatural strength would suggest it's God. And also the habit of renaming, you know? It's like...
Yeah.
That's another thing God often does. You know, God will take somebody who behaves bad in the past, and then when he's wanting to, like, kind of revalidate or reestablish a covenant or enter into a covenant, he'll rename the person.
Renew their mind.
Well, it's that take off the old man, put on the new man archetype. You know, you're being renewed. You're becoming a completely new being. And so...
I got you.
That's, you know... So I would say a lot of the behavioral cues would indicate that it's God. And so I don't think it's an angel. I think it's God. But also, some people speculate that it could be like Christ. Like every time God shows up in human form, that's Christ. So some people speculate that as well. So, apologies for completely losing my train of thought there. I must be burning out. But
Oh, you're good, buddy.
All right.
I look at that like authority. Everybody's got like an argument over specifically what entity God used as a conduit. It's just like it's God's authority. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Yeah. So.
No. Like, oh well, it couldn't be an angel here because it's Christ and there's a reference to the word or something. It's like it's just God's authority. He gave it to lots of people.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just find it's just an interesting story because, Jacob spends all that time kind of being a snaky guy, crooked guy. Then he gets really messed over by Laban. And then, and then once he wants to kind of make things right with Esau and he leaves Laban and all that, then after all, it's like, okay, now you learned your lesson. And now we're going to start over, as it were, almost.
Yeah.
Maybe. But again, that's another interesting thing. And I don't... It's like the covenant in Genesis, like it gets repeated. You know what I mean? It's like it happens 2 or 3 times. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. And I hadn't caught that before. But, you
don't think it's a cyclical thing that happens?
It could be. It could be. I don't know. I've just he gives these covenants, but like why is it happening again? Because he does it, he does it once with the ladder, Jacob's ladder, and then he does it again here with the wrestling, and he renames them. And so it's like these conditions keep getting added to the covenant, and these new details every time God visits. It's just an interesting thing. I'm not sure what it means. So, but what do you think, Trevor?
I don't know.
Yeah. I do also think, I do want to remind or state again, though, that I think it's very telling. It seems like Isaac's blessing played some role, but I don't think Isaac's blessing by itself was sufficient to validate the covenant, as it were. Like God did have to affirm it or make it official or something like that. So I think that's an interesting and telling detail as well. That
Maybe
needs to be reminded.
maybe that's the thing. You have to have somebody selfless enough to carry out a covenant for God, because like as he increases, I decrease, right? So it's like if you're bowing to the will of God, your life is it gets harder. So it's like, Christ is a great example, obviously, because it's obvious, but like God has to have a conduit that's willing to lower himself low enough to do God's will. And it doesn't come around very often. So it's like when you hear these guys making these covenants, and then it takes another generation for that covenant to grow into God's covenant. So maybe that's what you're seeing. That's why it's cyclical, because you got these certain archetypes that come around every few hundred years or whatever, and then they're willing to lower themselves low enough to subject themselves to God's will, and then his covenant comes through that person.
You could be onto something there. So because obviously Joseph is next, and Joseph is going to be the one that actually secures Israel's position in Egypt and creates an environment where they can grow. But he's the one that long suffers the most out of all of them, and he's the only one that really, like, he was cocky as a kid when he had those dreams from God, you might say, but by the end, he forgives and does the right thing. Would have been to his advantage, or it would have been vengeance to throw them in prison and all the rest of it. But Joseph is the one that actually ends up breaking that cycle, I guess you could say, that cycle of lying and that cycle of kind of duplicity that we've seen in the first 3 figures.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
I like
it too. I think it's a good place to end on that one. Yep. We got one more. We'll talk about SPLC, and then we will wrap up for the night. So, So.
Thanks for coming, y'all. I hope you enjoyed our Bible session tonight.
Yeah, we got one more segment. We'll see you then. So, all right. You ready to kick it off?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
We're getting tired, but we're gonna hang in there. We're gonna hang in there. So, okay, everybody. We're gonna jump right into it tonight, or on this video. We are going to discuss the SPLC has been taking everybody's money and perpetuating the racism they vowed to destroy. You become what you hate. So welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F Podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. How are you gentlemen today?
I'm rolling.
Trevor?
I have pie.
You have pie. Okay. Well, on that beautiful, wonderful, stupendous, deep statement, you do have pie. Now I'm jealous and hungry. How dare you?
Apple pie.
Yep.
You actually have pie?
He actually has pie. He literally has pie.
I really thought he was full of shit.
I didn't believe him, and yet here we are. You jerk.
It just says random things all the time, so I'm like, whatever you said is probably ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he actually had pie. I'm impressed. 3.14. Let's go.
3.14. Here we go. All right. So here's what was announced. Here's what was announced earlier this week.
Hey, look, it's Catch.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups.
Yes.
But what happens when these groups dismantle the groups that they're trying to dismantle?
They just pay them. They don't ever dismantle them. It's a fight without end.
Right, but what happens if they actually dismantle the groups?
The institution ceases to exist.
Oh, wow. So they have to propagate their existence by committing psyops.
Exactly. Yes. You're right. Yeah.
Wow.
An institution exists to perpetuate itself. Wonder of wonders.
I have a question.
Yes.
What does ESPLC, whatever it is,
this is the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center is kind of like, it's like a later version of Media Matters. And these guys basically declare everybody racist. This is the kind of think tank NGO bunch. They're always accusing everybody and the dog of, hating some minority. So, Charlie Kirk was a racist. Matt Walsh was a racist. Glenn Beck is a racist. Your mom is a racist. Your chickens are racist.
My chickens are racist.
Your dogs are racist. It's that bunch. And so they, sit there and go, give us money. We're going to end racism. And then they give that money to the KKK. So, wonder of wonders. And from what I understand, they also, funded Charlottesville. So they've been funding the quote-unquote alt-right and the extreme right this entire time. It's like a whodunit.
Quite ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a whodunit, and everybody saw the ending anyway, and it was still boring when the twist came. So
yeah,
it was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to.
Sorry, what? What'd you say, Trevor?
Oh, I was just singing "Do the Twist."
Oh, do the twist. Okay. All right. Hang in there, buddy.
Pose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of one person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least.
Vistaprint prints everything to
Hey,
get your
look,
brand
an
in front
ad!
of your fans,
I'm so
like t-shirts,
happy. What
water
an
bottles,
ad.
and totes.
It's an ad to end all ads.
I want to print
These
stuff.
individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan.
Sorry, what?
I want to print stuff.
Well, too bad. Printing's antiquated. So yeah, so they funded the Ku Klux Klan.
United Klans of America.
The Ku Klux
National
Klan.
Socialist Movement. Aryan Nations Affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club. The Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front.
Wait,
Now,
they funded all
as the
these?
indictment lays out.
Yes. Yes, they did.
They created evil organizations?
Yes.
Like, it's so silly, dude.
I know. It's almost like it's a giant money racket.
You almost can't make this stuff up, but you can.
Yes. Yep, that's right. Was it reality is stranger than fiction?
After SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing. Not dismantling extremism, but funding it. To carry out this scheme, SPLC created bank accounts in the name of at least 5 completely fictitious organizations that had no bona fide employees or legitimate business purpose. The money was passed from SPLC to one sham account to a second sham account and then loaded onto prepaid cards to give to the members of the extremist groups. This was designed to shield the source of those funds, and because of this, SPLC is also charged with one count, as I said earlier, of conspiracy to commit money laundering. In conclusion, I want to thank the acting U.S. Attorney in the Middle District of Alabama, Kevin Davidson, who's in his district right now and not able to be with us, for bringing this important case, along with the FBI team in Alabama for their hard work during this investigation. This investigation is...
All right, so we're going to call it good there. So, first thing I want to point out, you know who wouldn't have given a press conference and announced this and make a big show of it if they were still here? You know who wouldn't? Pam Bondi! You know, the crazy woman that was fired, and wonder of wonders, 2 weeks after this, now we're actually hearing about the NGO stuff again. It's almost like she was a saboteur. And this is why we kept giving Trump so much crap about it. It's not like I hate Trump, but, you know, he hires... The man means well, I think, but he hires stupid people sometimes. Saboteurs, because he doesn't want to admit that this is like actually a conspiracy and organized. And, you know, when he gets rid of the bad actors, when he gets rid of the deep state people and the rhino people and all of that, when he gets rid of the Pences, things actually start getting done. And that's why I screamed my head off about it. Not that many people are listening with our 200 subscribers, but, you know, that's why. It's not like I hate Trump. It's like when he gets good people in there, like Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy, like when he gets good people in there, there's progress made. And this is progress. This is what we need to see, because this is the heart of the problem.
Yeah.
What we've screamed for forever is the same thing that Mike Benz was screaming. The intelligence agencies are using NGOs, things like the Southern Poverty Law Center, to push certain agenda items. And, you know, the idea that Americans are horribly racist and this desire to kick off a race war and all this crap. Like, all of this is happening through NGOs. And this is what Doge was targeting. And it got quickly dismantled because it was targeting this exact thing. Now, I don't know how much is going to come of this, but this is a good sign. Todd Blanche is still a blank slate in my mind. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, but this is a very good sign to me, and I'm extremely happy about it, because this is what is meant by the deep state. This is the thing that needs to be dismantled. And the SPLC is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to have that rant because we've lost some subscribers and we got a mean comment about, oh, you shouldn't be complaining about people MAGA like. Well, it's like Trump wanted to get rid of the deep state. You know? And it's not like we want Trump to succeed, but he can't succeed.
You think this is an echo chamber?
Yeah, right. We're supposed to be sycophants, though. You know,
no,
everything he does is right. True. Everything he does is right. Sometimes. Yeah, like when he talks about the Dow,
or when he ran on draining the swamp, and then he was like, "Oh, we're still talking about the Epstein files."
Yeah, but Epstein's tied to this too. Like this is all part of the same crap, and this is exactly what needs to be happening. This press conference should have happened like 8 months ago, but at least we're here now, and I'm happy to see it. This is a very, very good sign. This is like a sign to me that maybe we might be getting back on track, because this kind of stuff is what needs to happen. So, Anyway, I just wanted to rant about that. So, because
you did.
Thank you. Because I'm glad Pam Bondi's gone, and this is why I wanted her gone, because I wanted to see this.
Because she was in the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was like, oh, look at me. I'm.
Yeah. It's like, you don't want to hear about all these NGOs. Look at my blonde hair. Look at how blonde I am at 60 years old. Aren't I pretty? So. Anyway, so much was said, and there was a lot of different reactions. So I want to look at Matt Walsh's reaction here. I hope I can find the correct comment he made, because there was something Matt Walsh said that was almost prophetic.
What an excellent beard!
I know, I'm jealous of that beard. That is like a beautiful beard. I envy it. That's a lot of oil and butter.
Everything is a giant psyop, that major events, the kind that dictate the course of American politics, are all fake and engineered. Then the news that broke yesterday was as close to a total vindication as you'll ever get. On the other hand, if you thought that color revolutions only happen overseas and that America is immune from successful campaigns of mass deception, Oh,
that's another thing I needed to say. I forgot to say this. One of the reasons that we think it's intelligence operatives controlling these NGOs is because Alex Jones, Glenn Beck, Matt Walsh, a whole list of people have been insisting this is a color revolution, which is the same tactic that the intelligence agencies use in other countries to overthrow their governments. That's being implemented here. And so when you see everything kind of moving in one direction, i.e. this racial strife, people have been suspecting what is called a color revolution. They're attempting to create a color revolution here. Yeah. That sounds like intelligence agencies moving behind the strings. So that's one of the reasons I suspect the CIA and FBI and NSA are kind of behind this, or certain people within those agencies are behind this. So I just wanted to mention that. The color revolution angle is one of the reasons why we suspect intelligence agencies.
Orchestrated by corrupt political actors to mimic natural grassroots events, then this is a story that you need to hear. The Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, was supposedly the defining moment of Donald Trump's first term in office. That's what we were told relentlessly for years on end by both political parties, along with every mainstream media outlet in the country. It was a mask-off moment in which neo-Nazis, emboldened by Donald Trump, supposedly, violently rioted in the streets, killing an innocent woman in the process. And we were told Donald Trump endorsed.
Yeah, they were all paid by the SPLC. That whole thing. Makes you mad.
It doesn't make me mad. It's just like, sounds about right.
Yeah. But it's like, we all knew, and nobody would look into it for a decade. It wasn't like it was a secret. Alex Jones literally screamed it a decade ago. He said it like a week after. Like, this is why it's even being talked about, and why I'm kind of grouping it in with conspiracy theories, because everybody knew. Everybody talked about it, and then nobody would do any investigation until now.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
These neo-Nazis live on national television, calling them...
Sorry, what? Sorry.
I said better Nate than Lever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very fine people. That's what Joe Biden said when he launched his campaign for president, and about 10 million times after that. The rally was definitive proof that white supremacy was alive and well in the United States. Watch.
Colostrum, the
Oh
sweet
my
nectar
gosh.
that is every mammal's first sip. Nature's original formula.
Charlottesville is also home to a defining moment for this nation in the last few years.
All right, we'll play this.
It was there on August of 2017 we saw Klansmen and white supremacists and neo-Nazis come out in the open. They're crazed.
They were funding the whole stupid thing the entire time. Oh, anyway, all right, let me see if I can find the quote.
Like, yeah, this is a put up. This isn't like, these aren't people.
Yeah. Well, you know, I saw this in Seattle. Like, I don't remember exactly what it was about, but this had gotten so out of control that whenever there was protests in Seattle, they would like protest, one bank would like protest another bank. Like, it was that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, they would like do this almost like a gag. It's what it felt like to me, because they'd be protesting some bank. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was some stupid, nuanced financial thing that wasn't a big deal at all, and there's no reason why people would be out protesting. But it wasn't even that. They had like laminated signs, you know, like these protesters. And I was part of the Tea Party movement, at least a little bit. I took part in one protest outside a news station, and you know what we had for those protests? Magic markers. Like little plastic cardboard laminated things you got at Walmart, a popsicle stick, and a magic marker. You know, that was our protesting. And these guys have like these giant elaborate banners and like laminated signs. And you're sitting there going, there's no way that's organic. I've been at an organic protest. There's no way this is organic at all. So it was just ridiculous. So,
well, I've told you about the website you can rent a mob from.
Yeah. And I remember when I was working for Joe, there was a guy we interviewed who did that. Like he literally, you know, he was like a protester for hire. He had a company that was like protesting for hire, you know? So like they would pay people and ship them to make it look like a protest was bigger than it was.
Yeah.
Like that's a job. People do that.
It's all just so ridiculous, man.
That should be illegal. I'm like, you can't just pay people to show up randomly.
Well,
they do, and I guess that's what a union does as well.
And they draw taxes on it too.
Yeah. So I didn't want to use
SPLC.
I didn't want to use this video because he doesn't like Benny Johnson. I like a lot of his news, but he's really bad about the clickbait titles. And so this kind of creates a false...
Joel Osteen on there too.
I don't know who that is. So I didn't want to do this because he doesn't name anybody. I didn't want to use this video, but I think it's going to take too long to find the exact spot on Matt Walsh's show. So I'm just going to take Benny Johnson's clip because I do want to show Matt Walsh predicting the future.
He did not fund them, they would not exist. And then Democrats would lose power, and the SPLC would run out of money.
I don't know what that was about.
Who among you is the traitor? This is a great question.
Hold on. I got this. Here we go.
This week, and Matt Walsh is saying, you got to name names. We have to know who in the conservative ecosystem.
So I guess I should preface this first. I didn't do a good enough job with that. So the other thing is people are beginning to suspect that certain right-wing influencers are being paid. So there's a psyop to add bad actors into the right-wing podcasting movement. So this is kind of fed into that suspicion, which you know, that suspicion preceded the press conference by the FBI, but Matt Walsh extrapolated on that.
Is the traitor? Who are the Judases? Who is taking money from the hate groups in order to set up their fellow countrymen? Sometimes people just, you know, wanting to go and protest a stolen election, right? Like, who was setting those people up? Matt Walsh is saying that there are traitors in our ranks. Here we go.
Now, it's the kind of strategy that's effective because unless you're extremely familiar with how depraved left-wing activists are, it would never occur to you that they're doing any of this. But they feel a need to do it because otherwise there would be no right-wing hate groups. If the SPLC did not fund them, they would not exist. And then Democrats would lose power and the SPLC would run out of money.
Do that with Acrobat. Grab your docs, your permits, your...
YouTube is getting absolutely ridiculous with these ads. Like, this is just...
It depends on the creator.
Depends on the creator? You think the creators are the ones doing this?
Yeah, you pick how monetized you are.
Ah. Well, this is getting out of control, man. I'm getting tired of it.
That's the same reason that your antivirus software bugs you all the time. If your antivirus software told you the truth, which is that you really don't need to pay for antivirus software anymore, then obviously nobody would subscribe. So instead, they pester you with fake threats and scare tactics. And it's kind of the same principle, except in the case of the SPLC, they were having a substantial effect on American politics. Now, the more you read this indictment, the more you realize how shameless it was. According to the DOJ, the SPLC was paying the same Klan members that it was complaining about by name on its website. So I got to say, as an aside, I'm starting to get a little frustrated because, again, I was also listed on their website of extremists. They put me on the list. They had my photo up and everything, and I was on their hate map as somebody who absolutely must be stopped. And yet, for all of this, I wasn't paid a single cent at any point. I served as general hate without any compensation whatsoever. Meanwhile, the KKK wizards were just like raking it in. Now, of course, all kidding aside, SPLC was not offering money to genuine conservatives who are effective at advancing conservatism. The idea was to fund and prop up the alleged right-wingers who were useful to SPLC and the left. And I suspect that soon, whether through this investigation or those to come, we're gonna find out that there are a fair number of alleged conservative figures, the most embarrassing and ridiculous ones, who've been getting paid by the forces they pretend to oppose. You know, there's a symbiotic relationship between left-wing activist groups and the supposedly right-wing grifters. And this relationship has always been obvious. Now we're learning about its financial dimensions.
Matt Walsh saying we have to name names.
So that was his prediction earlier in the week. And then, of course, I kind of thought it was, good luck proving it type of deal. But then something very interesting happened. Let me see if I can find it here. Alrighty. So this was Jeremy from D-Day Cobra the next day.
I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm not totally sure that this is legit. Well, guess what? I think that there's a little bit more to it because Ian Carroll, someone that I have complained about a lot, Candace Owens, someone I've complained about a lot, and Nick Fuentes, someone I've talked about a lot, they all are kind of disappearing after the news of the SPLC investigation. Very, very interesting.
So yes, all three of them vanished right after the investigation. They decided to take a hiatus. This was Candace Owens' tweet. So we got, no show today. Sorry. I thought I had announced I was traveling with my family. See you guys next week.
And she always does a show, no matter what.
Yeah. It was just out of the wild blue yonder, all of a sudden, and she's gone. So, I don't know if...
So she can't keep up the facade for even one day after stopping the money flow, even though she's married to royalty? That doesn't make sense. She didn't care about that.
I don't know what was going on. But it just so happened the next day after the SPLC and after Matt Walsh had predicted it, she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you guys. It's vacation. I'm gone. See you next week. Very weird timing. Very weird timing. Don't know if she's being paid, but weird timing. So Candace Owens had to, this is Laura Loomer, who I guess they're having a tiff. Candace Owens had to abruptly cancel her show today and travel abroad. She never alerted her audience of her travel plans. So, yes, and then she insists that... Now, she's saying, let's see here. Interesting how she's fleeing the country the same day I reported that her Zionist Jewish lawyer dropped her ahead of an important deadline in her lawsuit with the Macrons next week. Remember, I exposed her secret trust when she's hiding nearly $12 million in real estate among the assets. Her other lawyer's firm specializes in bankruptcy. Is she moving her money abroad and hiding assets abroad so she can file for bankruptcy? She's fleeing the country. So people are saying it. Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's the SPLC thing. But we'll read the whole thing in, the spirit of disclosure. But she thinks it's her moving $12 million. But anyway, bottom line is next day she was gone. Now, let me see here. Ian Carroll had another interesting tweet. So, something funny, good sir. While I look this up.
Oh, that little clip of whoever pushing Candace in the wheelchair.
Yeah. Ian Carroll, is that his name? Okay, so Ian Carroll. All right. How do the Trump? Let's see if I can find it. Nope, I think it's gone. Anyway, Ian Carroll said because somebody died, he was gone for a while, and nobody bought that. And then I don't know if Nick Fuentes has actually said anything or not, but he too disappeared. So now he's just complaining about Trump here. Okay, so this is his response for the SPLC thing, though. We will read this really quick. So, the new line that I worked with the SPLC is the laziest Fed jacketing narrative yet. I was 18 when I went to Charlottesville. That's the other thing. Nick Fuentes was actually at Charlottesville when it happened. So, and then he got very popular afterwards. So people are going, Nick, was it you, buddy? And he's going, that is an absurd lie. The SPLC doxed my house in 2022, which led me to almost getting murdered. Got me censored.
That's true.
Doxed my interns and got friends of mine fired from their jobs. So he is saying that SPLC wasn't paying him. The other two are not denying it. They just fled. But apparently Nick Fuentes is... Yeah, that's more of a denial than the other two. So you remember when he almost got murdered? Like I don't follow him. So
freaking Reddit troll came to his house with a gun.
Was it a Reddit troll or was it the SPLC? Somebody connected to them, or
it was the SPLC thing. But it was I don't know. It was like the Reddit troll type,
Yeah.
Just a gooned out weirdo.
Gotcha. So that's Nick Fuentes' response. Time will tell. Anyway, apparently they're all gone. That's very strange timing that they would all three leave at once. But maybe he isn't. Who knows? So
we'll see.
That is the situation. I mean, I was kind of suspecting that somebody was getting paid, but I just didn't know who. I'll tell you, it'll be funny. It would be really funny. I'm not saying this is true, but it would be really funny to me if both Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson turned out to be feds because they were accusing each other of being feds. That would just make that interview hilarious. It'd be like Spider-Man pointing at other Spider-Mans. It'd just make me so happy if they were both feds. So maybe that's why that interview was so civil. It's like, you're a fed? Well, I'm a fed too. Let's be besties. So that would just make me smile.
Be best feds together.
But who knows? Who knows? So that is the situation with the SPLC. Now, the last thing I wanted to do before we close out tonight, just to quell my own curiosity is back in 2022, I wrote an article about Charlottesville. And to be honest, I don't remember what I actually thought. Whether I thought it was something that was a legitimate organic movement, or whether it was something that was like the SPLC paid for. I don't even know if I mentioned it. But I was, asked to write an article about Charlottesville, and so I chose to write an article about where the ideology comes from. And so that led me down a rabbit hole. And so I thought it would be interesting to just read my article from 2 years ago and make fun of me if I said something stupid. It would make me happy. I don't know if it'd make anybody else happy, but it'd make me happy. So
let's do it.
All right. Let's see if 4-year-old me was the me from 4 years ago was a moron. So yeah. In his new book, Darwinian Racism, How Darwinism Influenced Hitler, Nazism, and White Nationalism, historian Richard Weikart devotes a chapter to explaining the continuing influence of Darwinian racism in American society today, including its connections to the alt-right. It's a topic that we've covered before at Evolution News, but it deserves more attention. Unfortunately, in recent years, the term alt-right has been misused as something of a catch-all for conservatism. That's a slander. Most conservatives have nothing to do with the actual alt-right. In reality, the alt-right has an ideology of its own, a mix of both left-leaning and right-leaning elements. But their various positions are united by one belief that the white race is genetically superior. And as Weikart points, they draw toxic inspiration from the claims of Darwinian biology. Understanding the alt-right and claiming that the white race is superior, alt-right articles and podcasts cite certain early 20th century social Darwinists. 3 of these thinkers are Madison Grant, Sir Francis Galton, and Lothrop Stoddard. The last of these 3, perhaps a less familiar man, served as a director for Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood. The ideas of the social Darwinists permeate the alt-right ideology. Some years ago, Richard Spencer, an alt-right writer, most notably recognized for his role in Charlottesville Unite the Right demonstration in 2017. Now, he might have been one of the guys they were directly paying, Spencer, because after Charlottesville, he vanished. He completely vanished. So, interviewed thinker and painter Jonathan Bowden on Spencer's podcast Vanguard. The episode is titled The E-Word, Eugenics and Environmentalism, Madison Grant and Lothrop Stoddard. During their interview, Spencer and Bowden not only detail the history of the eugenics movement, they defend it, even attempting to connect eugenics with both abortion and environmentalism, using Grant as their justification. They argue that if the left could only embrace the notion that some men and women are genetically inferior, then they could deal with the environment effectively. Academic language and a harsh message. During the podcast, Bowden states, if one eschews the politics of human rights in a grandstanding and universalist way and sees human identity and glory in very much an individual or localized manner, then deep green and ecological ideas have a lot to say to all forms of conservatism that wish to preserve and restore as against that which is transitory and that which is to our end and which is purely and only concerned with human life to the detriment of the ecology without which mankind could subsist. These men have a habit of using academic language to mask their harsh message. What he's basically saying is that if we just get rid of this troublesome notion of human rights, we could deal with the overpopulation and save the environment. When it comes to abortion, both Bowden and Spencer consider it a backwards form of eugenics. As Spencer explains, they, the elites, are in some ways pursuing negative eugenics in the sense that they are certainly much more willing to abort a child with Down syndrome or so on. And that, of course, can be discovered in the womb. In some ways, one could also suggest that eugenics is still living on. And Bowden adds, I also think it's important to realize that essentially what's happened is that 2 concepts have been conflated into one another in order to summarily dispatch both. This is the idea of eugenics as against dysgenics. Dysgenics, which is, if you like, the negative side of eugenics, whereby you act as to prevent harm, but you also act as to, in some senses, prevent life through abortion or through selective contraceptive use or through sterilization. The proactive and yet sort of snip-oriented and negative side of eugenics is its really controversial feature. The wholesome side, the building people up, the tonics for the brave sort of side, is one which only the most nihilistic and sordid left-winger would be opposed to because they find nauseous the idea of happy, athletic, intellectual, precocious families beaming for the camera in an Osmond-liked way, you know. Both Bowden and Spencer blame the public's rejection of eugenics on the move away from Galton's understanding of Darwinism after the Second World War. Spencer says, you were talking about the academic side of the issue and the fact that so many of these researchers who were quite predisposed to Galton Darwinism, eugenics, that switched. Is that part of the so-called Bosnian Revolution in anthropology? What I mean is that, of course, Franz Bonds, who was a sworn enemy of Madison Grant. Bowden affirms Spencer's suspicion and then adds a revealing statement about the motive behind this switch. He comments, yes, I do think it happened in a certain context, though. I think that people who supported eugenics found that unless they found a different vocabulary for it, their support couldn't be sustained in polite society. Okay, so that is extremely long. Oh, wait, I'm almost done. I'm sorry, I almost gave up there. So, hang on. Eugenics is a worthy practice. Regarding this switch, the two conclude their conversation when Spencer says, when you had baby boomers and our generation, you were essentially having people who were influenced by Bosnian anthropology. They did not think in terms of Galton and let's call it classical Darwinism. Really, those people lost the battle, and this is the reason why eugenics has kind of vanished after the Second World War. These two think eugenics was a worthy practice, and they lament that it is no longer openly used. Spencer surmises his thoughts on the subject. What do you think about our unique ability to reclaim conservatism or naturalism, and how much, like Grant, that should be a major cause for us, which is to keep the world green and beautiful and to fight things like a terrible overpopulation that you see in some kind of horrifying city like Mexico City or Sao Paulo? We want quality over quality. We want to live on a beautiful earth. Sorry, were you going to say something, Cody?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody. I'm reading so fast I'm barely registering what I'm reading. I'll go ahead and stop. I got to say, the me from 4 years ago is smarter than the me now. I don't even know what I'm saying. So...
That happens sometimes.
As best as I can tell, I think what I was getting at here was basically that they used abortion to replace eugenics. That seems to be the idea. But what's interesting is that Spencer...
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But Spencer was pushing abortion, which is a leftist policy, and yet he's considered part of the alt-right. That kind of lends credence to the idea that the SPLC was paying him or something, because these guys were secretly leftists, but they were trying to, merge ideologies or something.
Well, I mean, if you're on one side, you want to get rid of the other side. So if you're like alt-right, you want to get rid of all the left,
Yeah. So why have abortion?
You're going to push eugenics.
Yeah. So why have abortion? Why? I don't know. I think they're just trying to infect the movement. I think. So.
No, he's pushing abortion because that's the people he wants gone. He wants the right people, the alt-right people to live. That's eugenics.
Yeah. Well, abortion is concentrated around minorities. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what, from his perspective, it's like, that's why we want abortion, because we want to, kill off the minorities, that kind of thing. But that's not a right policy. So it's like they're calling him alt-right, but I'm like, you can't be on the right if you're like, you can't be that on the right if you're for abortion.
It's all demon shit, dude. There's no left-right. It's all demon shit.
That's true. That's true.
They want human sacrifice. That's it.
They want human sacrifice. Well, they want the authority to kill. That's what they're all about. They like the idea of being able to kill without consequence. So
control.
Well, I'm somewhat relieved. I was afraid I was going to say something to the effect of the alt-right created Charlottesville. Thankfully, I just stuck to the history, but it's been so long, I don't remember all the details. But, it's surreal.
It's getting late, boys.
Yeah, it's surreal reading an article like that. It is getting late. Anyway, so that's the SPLC. I'm glad that they're going to hopefully go to jail. I'm glad that a jury indicted them. And I consider this a step in the right direction, which is good because we've had like 14 months of crap. So hopefully we start shifting. But anyway, so Trevor, you got any final thoughts? You're awfully quiet.
Hopefully we start shifting.
Yeah. And I apologize for reading so fast. I was just trying to get through it, but then I got lost and I just kept going. So yeah. Okay, well, I think that's everything I've got. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right, I don't have any either.
Nope.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up for the night. Tonight kind of derailed a little bit, but that's okay. Glad Trump's all right. Glad everybody's okay, and hopefully this will be the last one because this is getting disquieting. But anyway, all right, that's all we got, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Doses.